Hi, everybody. Welcome. How are you? Hope you're having a really wonderful day today. I just got through posting a react to two of Neo Tarot's tarot readings. She did one on Foodie and she did one on Salah, and both were just absolute fire. So I hope you guys enjoyed the react to both those videos. And please don't forget to check out Neo Tarot on her channel. So, on to why you're here. Foodie Beauty, she went live and I watched it. I didn't watch every single second because I wanted to do the react organically and just get like the responses just coming out as they do. That's how I like to do it. But what did she do? Well, she didn't rage. We thought she would rage. She didn't rage. Chantal did a community post, what was it, yesterday, saying that she was taking a long break from YouTube. Well, the break did not last that long. She's right back to her old habits. She did a live and she was making excuses for Salah all over the place. For his part, Salah was not visible in the chat, but he was there. And how do I know he was there? Because somebody was deleting messages and super chats from people in the chat, and it wasn't the people who had the mod wrenches that were visible. So he was there. He was not seen by anybody, but he was there just watching the chat, listening to Chantal, and essentially just sticking his toes back in the water to see how people would react to him being there. So he was there. Chantal, she started talking about the cats again, bringing up that old history and trying to rewrite history and just going after Kay Bella, calling her all kinds of names, making excuses for Salah. And before we begin this react, those of you that are in my audience that you do not like to hear about adult subjects like kinks or fetishes, this react is going to have mentions of those things just because Chantal is talking about them and I'm going to be reacting to them. I promise that I will be as gentle and respectful as I can, but they are topics on the table and I cannot simply ignore them. So if that is something that might offend you or trigger you in some way, well, perhaps do the next react, but she talks all about it throughout the live. There's really no way to step around it. So before we get into that though, let's get into the stuff on Twitter, because a lot of people, as you can imagine, have their opinions and feelings about this whole thing, about Chantal making excuses for Salah and saying what she'll do and what she will not do for Salah. And I want to capture their comments. So let me just go ahead and pull that up so that you guys can see what I see. Okay, so there's my Twitter. For anyone who wants to follow me on Twitter, if you have a Twitter account, it's Well Girl Sarah. Okay, all right. DX says of the live, Chantal says Salah didn't want to use degradation on her because he loves her so much. She also said she'll be gone if he does it again. Quote, if I do go back, I'm prepared to deal with consequences of whatever happens, but he's a really good person. So I watched the live, and Chantal kept emphasizing that Salah is not an abusive person. Oh, he's not violent. He's not abusive. He's so sweet to me. Because he's so nice to her, everything else is being excused. I would like to address this part of your comment, DX. The part about Chantal saying Salah does not want to use degradation on her because he loves her so much. That is something that she also said. Chantal, his degradation fetish, first of all, the two of you are supposed to be a married couple. And your husband is supposed to come to you for his sexual desires. If he can't, at the very least, you should know about them, correct? You are married. I would think that a married couple, that you discuss your desires with your partner before anyone else. So you're trying to tell us that you did not know about his desires nor did he do his desires with you. Maybe there are a couple of reasons why he did not go to you. The first one being because maybe the agreement that the two of you have with each other is there's no sex involved. So if that's the agreement, of course, he's not going to go to you for those things. Second thing, maybe perhaps the way his fetish works is he prefers to do certain things with women that he finds attractive. And that's part of the rush, doing really disgusting things with women that are really attractive. Like that's part of the kick. Now, if he doesn't find you attractive, maybe that's why he didn't go to you. Also, final point, if the kick for him is to degrade women that are really attractive and doing something really foul and disgusting with them, considering your history, the fact that you have a humiliation, degradation fetish, the fact that you have degraded yourself online, publicly, and freely without any kind of inhibition, for him, what fun would it be to try to degrade somebody that has degraded themselves already? There's no thrill in that. So that's just something to think about. You know, like if you have this man and he loves you so much, if he's got sexual desires as his wife, why isn't he coming to you? Why is he going to other people? And he's saying things to other people that he should be saying to you. On a personal note, I would like to say as a person that there are different kinds of cheating. There's physical cheating, like skin to skin contact, and there's also emotional cheating. And emotional cheating is just as bad as physical cheating. And I, for one, if there was anybody in my life that I was in love with or with, and I found out they were talking that way to somebody, it's bye. No discussion, no negotiation. It's time to go. Because whoever that person is, if I'm not all and enough for them, then they need to go find the person that is all and enough for them. There's no halfway about it. Let's see. This part where she says she'll be gone if he does it again. Chantal, we've been down this road. You were down that road with Natter. Remember what happened with Natter? People exposed that he was on single sites. You knew about that. You forgave that. Then you kept finding stuff on his phone and him talking to people. Then there was the lady on the porch. Then there was the lady at the kitchen table. All of these things you excused because you wanted to be with Natter. Now here's Salah, completely different person, but same situation. You've already caught him a couple of times talking to people. So you're going to keep forgiving him? And as long as he doesn't touch anybody physically, it's fine. It would seem like you're just trying to find some way to include him in your life because you honestly do not want to let go. This is a repeat of the Natter situation with Natter removed. It's just a different sort of Natter. You know, same, different guys, same situation here. Morpheus says, next video, these two numbskulls sitting on the blue couch and Scatman opening up with, hello, Beezers. You might have heard of an incident with me, blah, blah, blah. Then Chantal giving us all a lesson in forgiveness and marriage challenges. Yeah, like the whole live that she just did, she was painting this picture of being the forgiving wife. And I understand he has fetishes and some people just have them. I mean, she was really putting a serious spin on everything. Y'all are going to see. Just pivoting it away from the ugly side of the corner, trying to find the light corner, trying to find some positive spin on this, trying to turn lemons into lemonade. Well, you can't turn lemons into lemonade, Chantal, if they're completely rotted. You know, if you take rotted lemons and try to make a drink out of them, it's going to end up being poison for you, which is what's going to happen to you. Like you're drinking all this toxicity, thinking somewhere that the liquid is going to be sweet, and all it's going to do is just turn sour on you and bitter and make you ill. If you go back over to Kuwait, there's going to be paranoia and jealousy and insecurity and clinginess galore, you're not going to be able to trust him at all. He's going to be driven mad because of your insecurity and jealousy, and there's going to be fights all the way around. Judge Judy says, Foodie Beauty, so much for your long break. You need that cash, right? How's Catman doing? If you don't think the Red Room preps were real before, this you should now. Scatman played you for a fool and you're eating it up. Never seen somebody so desperate for a man. You deserve all the crap you get. Yeah, that's something that I forgot. So she's looked on his phone before and she's found pictures. Then there was the Red Room picture. Now he's being outright caught sexting somebody on his phone. That's 3 times, Chantal. For me, once would be enough. I mean, that's it, bye. But this is the 3rd time. You guys have been together for only a year. This is the 3rd time he's been caught. And even though you say he's deleting all of his social media, it's a social media that you know about. He was having Kai Bella message him on another Instagram account. So just because he deletes everything you know about, I'm sure there are accounts that you don't know about. And all this thing is going to do is teach him to be more sneaky and hide it better, but he's not going to stop. Especially if he has desires that he doesn't want to do with you and he wants to do with other people. Him coming to you and saying, I'm not going to do that anymore. Don't believe that. His desires are way too intense and way too dark. If he's got those desires, if he's got those urges, if he's not doing them with you, he's going to find somebody else. And like the heart wants what it wants, the body wants what it wants. And it's been a year. He's not come to you with these things. He's going to go to somebody else. Michael B. Petty says, Salah has never done this before. He only knows how vanish mode on Instagram works to try and cover his tracks. He only has very specific dark kinks that he acted out. He only sent peen pics and feet pics because he didn't know better. I can't imagine having such little self-worth. Yeah, funny how he's never done this before, but he knew about vanish mode on Instagram. That kind of sounds like cheater behavior. Because if you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to hide. Those who want to hide things will find that vanish mode on Instagram and hide their stuff. You've done this before, Salah. You just got caught this time, but something tells me that there are more women out there that have talked to you. They might come forward. They might start talking. I hope they do. I really hope they do. I hope this whole thing gets blown up and exposed. Let's see. What else we got here? Hidden Truths says, Foodie Beauty, Salah seemed pretty comfortable talking this way with Kay Bella. I am willing to bet he's done with this before without her knowledge. This isn't his first rodeo or his last. Personally, I would call it quits. Trust is a big thing in a relationship. Yes, it is. If you don't have trust with the person that you're with, you don't have anything. How can you have any kind of relationship with somebody, whether it's a intimate relationship or just a platonic friendship? How can you be around somebody and not trust them? How can you be comfortable talking to or being around someone that you can't trust in just simple conversation? That they're going to blab all of your business or they're going to go behind your back. Trust has to be in every relationship or you don't have a relationship, period. But let's see what this clip has to say.
It's bad, I'm not talking about the infidelity, but just the fetish part. It's like, and there are just things that we have to work on, like communication when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's hard. It's like, you have to outweigh, like in my real life, he treated me like literally like a princess. Like I've never opened my own car door. Like he's so a year and over something with this person. And
Chantal, do you know why he treated you like a princess? Maybe he's a gentleman. I don't think he is, but gentlemen do that kind of behavior. But consider what's going on here. You're the moneymaker. You're the cash cow. Of course he's going to treat you like a queen. Of course he's going to open your door because he knows you had trouble getting out of the car. Of course he's going to be nice to you. You're the one making the money. You're the one giving him the money. You're the one paying the bills. You are his paycheck. Of course he's going to be nice. Because if he's not nice, he doesn't get paid. He doesn't get trips to Thailand. He doesn't get a new computer. He doesn't get a new car. If somebody's giving you everything to the point where you don't have to work, of course you're going to be nice to him. It has nothing to do with love. It has to do with having some financial freedom where you can just go off and play the part of the fool and somebody else is footing the bill.
Never has he ever treated me like anything but a queen. And I think that's why he didn't want to use like degradation, like fetish on me, because he just like, he's like, imagine I talk to you like that. He's like, I could never. So it's like, and I'm not excusing it, but I don't think that makes him a bad person alone. The infidelity, I think, like marked that there's an issue that we have to rectify. And
There's really no issue to fix. The two of you have no chemistry. And if you have no chemistry and no connection, you are not in a relationship. It might be a situationship. It might be a business agreement of sorts, but it's not an intimate relationship. Like the two of you are not connected as people. You are very, very different. He's younger, he's more active, he wants to go out and do things, he wants to party. You're more of a couch potato. You want to sit home and be sedentary, and you are consumed by YouTube. You are not the same. And I don't know where you thought that you could just be with somebody like that and they would be 100% happy, because that's not happening. Another thing, in this live that Fraudy did, she was trying to rewrite her image with people. And she was trying to tell people that she was very vanilla, very basic in her intimate needs. Fraudy, you can't rewrite history with us. You're a nasty woman. You are. Um, this is not me kink shaming. This is just me talking about Fraudy right now. Like, whatever your kink is out there, whoever watching this, whatever your interest is, if it makes you happy and it hurts no one, you're good. I'm just speaking directly to her and about her. But she was a nasty wench. She's trying to claim that she's very vanilla, but I do remember when she was seeing Natter that all the things she talked about that they did together, all the things that he did to her, coming home with bruises on her chest and proudly showing them off like trophies, talking about the rough sex they had. And then posting pictures of herself looking completely just, like the O face, I guess you could call it. She was a bad girl. Very, very bad. Coming on camera half naked, trying to seduce Natter on her stream to where he would call her. Barely any clothes on. She was a bad girl. But she's got vanilla needs. Okay. You know what, though? It sounds like Salah is not vanilla. He wants something besides vanilla. And if you are a starfish queen, if all you can do is just get in bed and starfish, you don't want to move, you can't move, he wants more than that. And if you think he's going to be happy with just the starfish queen, he ain't. If that's all it took to make him happy, he would have come to you. But he went to somebody else. That tells me that you are not the one for him. You are not what he desires. You are not what he seeks. Because he was on his phone looking for something else.
If I forgive once, I can see forgiving once. If it ever happened again, I would be fucking gone. Like, ever happened again. And
But this is like the third time. How many times are you going to forgive him? Like, throughout this live that she did, you guys are going to see, like, she's trying to find little corners of ways to forgive him. Like little angles of, oh, it's not bad because Kay Bella did not go physically to Kuwait and have physical sex with him. It only went to a certain level. Like, you're gonna see and hear the mental gymnastics at play with this one, like just doing backflips and somersaults to try to justify all of this and justify forgiving him and going back. And this whole thing of her, if it happens again, I'm gone. Again, we've heard this with Natter. She said the exact same thing verbatim about Natter, and yet she kept going back. And yet she kept forgiving him, no matter how many times she caught him with pictures of other women on his phone. How many times he went to go see Dee Dee. She was desperate for his attention, and she kept taking him back. And Fraudy, if you go back to Kuwait, right now, you're in the power position. You're in Canada. You've got your channel. You've got your money. You could easily stay in Canada, flip off Salah and say, you're on your own, bro. I'm staying here. I'm getting my life together. I'm not coming back, and get your life straight. But if you go back to Kuwait, then he's in the power position because you just spent all your money on a plane ticket. And how are you going to get back home? Not only that, but when you go back to Kuwait, you're probably going to eat yourself to another 100 pounds, which will probably make you bedbound. And if you are bedbound, how can you get back home then? This might be the last time you see Canada and your family. Like, going back is the worst idea ever, but you're desperate now to get back to him. And if you go back there, he's going to be in the power position. He's going to do the same thing to you that Natter did to you. He's going to play your insecurity and your jealousy against you, the same way that Natter did to get more money out of you. Like Natter would use Dee Dee as a way to make Chantal insecure and jealous and have Fraudy like amped up more money to get rid of her. Chantal does not have that power position. Salah has choices. She doesn't. There's nobody else that wants her. There are people that want him. And he will hold that over her head and throw that in her face and use that to his financial advantage.
Basing that on the fact that I never saw this from him. Like I said, he treated me like a princess, you know? Yeah, at the end of the day, like, people can give me their opinion. Sure, I appreciate it. And if I do go back, I'm prepared to deal with the consequences of whatever happens, you know?
What does she mean by that? To deal with the consequences? That seems almost ominous. What consequences? Consequences from him or consequences from people on your channel basically condemning you for being around him, knowing what we know? Or is it both? Is it a combination of both? Honestly, I wouldn't be around Salah. I mean, I wouldn't trust that situation. I'm sure he's embarrassed and angry that he got outed. He might take it out on you. He might hold it over you. Not that I feel sorry for you, Chantal, because look, I don't want anything physical to happen to you. But you have to know how stupid this is, how stupid it all is. You know, sometimes life will put people in front of you to serve as life lessons. Life put Natter in front of you. You went through all that with Natter, and you're repeating the same lesson over again with Salah. And it's going to keep happening until you get it and you learn it, and then maybe somebody different could come along.
You know, even in the screenshot, you see him say, I've never ever talked to another woman since loving Chantal. Like, I know he loves me. I know it's, the thing is,
he doesn't love you. He loves your money. You want the ultimate test? If he loves you or not? Here, I'll help you out, Chantal. I'll do you a solid, even though you don't deserve it. You want to test that love theory? Tell him that you don't have any more money, or that you're not going to give him any more money. No more new cars, no more new computers, no more new anything. Cut the money off. See how fast he runs out that door. Cut off the financial support and see if he stays or not. See if he goes out and gets a job and makes his own money and stays with you. I guarantee you he won't. He's there for the perks. He's there for the free ride. And as long as you're given the free ride, he'll be in the back seat looking out the window, letting you drive. But you want to know the true test of love? Take the money away and see if he's still there.
It's like most people don't even know our dynamic of our marriage, like, because people don't even, how can you know the dynamic? You don't even know if you in your mind, you don't even know if we're married or not, you know? So
you don't even know in your mind if we're married or not. Why would you say that unless you're not married? But beyond that, Chantal, we know what we see. Like, I could go to anywhere in the world, a cafe, a diner, an event, and you can always tell the people that are friends or in relationships from people who maybe they're having trouble in their relationships. Like, body language is a dead giveaway. You can feel chemistry and connection and intimacy between people. Even camaraderie, just you feel it. You feel that vibe. In all the year that you've been with Salah, I'm not being a hater here. I'm just giving my opinion. I don't feel that intimate energy between the two of you. I don't feel that couple energy. It's awkward. It's cringeworthy. Even after a year, it's like two strangers who walked into a cafe and all the seats are full and there's two seats left next to each other and the two of you sit down next to one another and there's just this awkwardness to it. And to keep from it being more awkward, you make dull, monotonous chit chat. You're never going to connect ever. He doesn't want to. He's disconnected. He's indifferent to you. You're a different person than he is. You want different things. He's not interested in connecting to you. He's interested in connecting to your bank account. You're just a stepping stone for him to step on to get to the next phase of life that he's interested in.
People, safe to say, behind closed doors, people don't really know everything, you know? So it's like, I know that better because I live it. So, you know, people are focusing on his reaction, but it's like people don't ever like think that it's a bit messed up that somebody purposely tried to like ruin a marriage for entertainment. That's
You know
like,
what? I will give this to Kai Bella. The fact that she was a beezer, I'm already looking at her. I'm giving her the bombastic side eye. How can you be a beezer and support somebody like Chantal for as long as you did, Kai Bella? But I will give her due in saying that I think it's a breath of fresh air when somebody is being honest. And she said, I'm doing this to screw up her marriage. Well done. Well done for being honest. She said that. I'm doing this to screw up her marriage. But you know what, Chantal, for all the words and the insults that you have for Kai Bella or anybody else who talks to Salah, if you had had a truly happy marriage to your man, that conversation would not have happened in the first place. If 1,000 women messaged Salah tomorrow, if he truly loved you, he wouldn't be talking like that to any of them for any length of time. He didn't just send one text to Kai Bella. He sent several, and video clips and pictures of his junk. I mean, it was explicit. It was nasty. It was profane. Let me tell you something, Chantal. When you get with a man or a woman, there are a million seconds between the time that one person meets another and the time that they take their clothes off and do the dirty, or they get down to business and do some dirty talking. And it only takes half a second to stop yourself and say no. Salah did not say no, did he? He carried on through. He was sending all those dirty messages. He never stopped himself. Kai Bella said he was blowing up her phone and he was getting annoying. So he never tried to stop himself. I didn't see any messages there where he was apologetic and having second thoughts and saying, you know, I really shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. It's wrong to Chantal. She loves me. There was no presence of guilt or shame in any of it. As a matter of fact, he was asking Kai Bella how much she was making on salary and how much she would give him. So not only was he planning on maybe her flying out to Kuwait to see him while you were away, but he was also trying to set up the next mark of like the next woman he bleeds money off of. So it goes far beyond kinks and fetishes. It goes beyond that. It's him looking for marks, him looking to bleed women dry. But that's part of the conversation you won't touch because you know that you are being used by Salah. You know, the eyes are going to go blind at what the heart does not want to see. But keep living in your ignorance. They say ignorance is bliss. I guess she's blissful. Hidden Truth says Foodie Beauty. She didn't just say that. She just admitted she has secret fetishes without saying it. You can meet someone in the middle, she says. Who is she trying to kid? She liked Natter's toes. Yes, she did. Again, no shame for anybody that has fetishes or kinks or likes. What you do is what you do. But she did kiss Natter's feet. She crawled across the floor naked and kissed his feet. I saw the picture, and the picture, her face, she wasn't exactly disgusted by it. She was in heaven doing it. Chantal's got a humiliation, degradation fetish like nobody's business. And in my opinion, in the past, a lot of the things that we saw on her channel catered specifically to different fetish groups. Like there's a whole section of people that like the flashing, and she did a lot of that. There are the men that like the bigger women, of course. Then you've got the food fetish people. There are also people out there that they like people who live filthy. I mean, there's different things that she did on her channel. I'm like, that's a fetish, that's a fetish, that's a fetish. I think she was trying to attract different fetish groups to her channel to make more money. Could all of those things be just Chantal being sloppy and lazy and dirty? Absolutely. But Chantal's not stupid. She's very money motivated. So who's to say that some of that stuff wasn't catered to certain people to get certain people to give her money offline? Anyway, let's watch the clip from Hidden Truths.
Hey, you just kidding? No, but here's the thing, Applebee's. I'm not into that. He's never brought that up to me, like ever. So I don't think he even wants to do those things with me. So I don't have fetish.
Can I just say something? Chantal will do anything to please a man, as long as that man stays with her, right? We know this about her. We've known for a long time. She'll do anything. So if Salah had watched her content for a long time, knew what she was all about, knew that she would get down and dirty if the occasion called for it, knowing that she was down and dirty, why wouldn't he go to her with fetishes like that? It begs the question, why not? It wasn't like she was some prim and proper housewife from Ohio. It's Foodie Beauty. She likes being dirty and foul and disgusting. Why wouldn't he go to her? Was he afraid of messing up his paycheck if he offended her? Surely he didn't think that, oh, she would never do it. Oh, yes, she would. Yes, she would. But why would a man who knows about a woman that publicly has degraded herself in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, if they had very extreme fetishes, why wouldn't they go to them first? Especially if this person's supposed to be their wife. Why wouldn't you try there first? Unless, perhaps, part of the kink of his fetish is finding women that he finds physically attractive. That's part of the play, and he doesn't find her attractive. So he never went to her.
Fetishes like that. So, but there's like a medium you can meet with somebody. You can.
But okay, you're not explaining though. You can meet somebody in the middle. Chantal, I saw those texts. They were really dark, really profane, really disgusting. So how are you going to meet him in the middle with these fetishes, with these kinks? Where exactly is the middle? Like, because the fetishes that he has involve defecation, degradation, religious blasphemy. He's got R fantasies. Where do you go in the middle of stuff like that? And let's just say on a devil's whim, you did go into the middle. Do you think he's going to be happy with just the middle? You know, because people who have interests, middle is not good enough. It's not going to be satisfactory enough. They want the full Monty. I don't think he's going to go to you for these things. I think he's going to claim that I don't do that stuff anymore. I'm not doing it with anyone. And maybe for a little while he'll be able to stay away. But eventually he's going to find someone that he can do those things with. You may or may not know about that person. But when you want something, you want it 100%. You don't want 50. You don't want 25%. You want 100. And he's not doing those things with you. He'll do them away from you.
Spice things up more.
All right, so let's move on. Okay, so this is one of the comments I believe that got deleted in chat, courtesy of Applebee's and Perfectly Imperfect and Book Lady. So Applebee says someone is going to have to fulfill those needs. If you don't, he will always look for ways to get it, like you in Burger King. Well said. You want what you want. You don't want to settle. You don't want to substitute. You want what you want. If she is not what he wants for those needs, if she can't fulfill all those needs, he's a younger man. He's got his physical needs. He's going to go elsewhere and look. I mean, Chantal, when it comes to food, this woman has been known to drive 6 hours across the Canadian border to America for McDonald's. When she puts her mind to it and she wants something, she'll go out of her way to get it if she has to. So what's to say Salah won't do the same thing? All right, Hidden Truths says Foodie Beauty. She acknowledges that she conversed this way with Natter and claimed it was all for fun. In essence, everything was pre-planned. It was done for attention. Everyone involved knew their parts. She feigned tears and attention. What is she doing currently? Let's listen.
But it's mostly just all play and like just talk, shit talk, you know? Or maybe it's my karma because I used to do that all the time with dudes. Like, well, I did that with a dude specifically when I was with my ex, you know? So, and it doesn't mean anything. Like, I know when I would do it, I would be like, yeah, I would say whatever at the time they wanted to hear, just in the moment. You know, if somebody said they liked something, just like what she said to him, like, oh, I like talking about that stuff and blah, blah, blah. I did that too. Like, whatever they want to hear in the just in the heat of the moment, just for fun, because I was bored and I wanted extra validation, you know, because I was getting validated from BB. Like, I was like, you know, oh, like he was the best, with that, you know, but then it's a you problem. I don't know. So I kind of understand because I went through it. It's weird. Drops till the period he sent goes forward.
Well, it seems like old habits repeat themselves. Do you see what's going on, Chantal? The fact that you keep looking for validation in all the wrong places, looking for love in all the wrong places. You're looking for it everywhere except inside yourself. And the thing is, you're never going to find what you're looking for. You're gonna find fool's gold instead of the real gold. Looking for that validation.
And use our word. Well, thanks for the super chat, but that's the thing though, yo mama, it's not, he didn't rape anybody in real life. There is such thing as grape fantasy, and it's like a dominant thing, and it's like just fantasy. If it's just fantasy and fetish.
Okay, can we clarify something right here? Can I say something, please? You can be in the BDSM lifestyle, just because a person is a dom or dominant doesn't mean they have the R fantasies. Okay, let's make that very, very clear. Let's make that real clear. You can be a dom and not have those fantasies. Our fantasies are not a dom sub BDSM thing. It's just a person thing if they have those fantasies individually on their own.
It doesn't make somebody a bad person, you know? I've never seen him be violent ever, ever.
So basically, what Chantal is doing is she's excusing all of this stuff about Salah because he's not violent. He's never treated her bad. He's never been brutal with her. And because he's not shown that side to her, she's like, I'm willing to excuse and look past everything. She's trying to pivot out that corner and find a way to forgive him and go back. Like she's in her mind, she's already gone back.
Or any kind of way. Like what you've seen with him on video, that's how he was, like with me all the time. So I don't agree with you there at all, just because of that.
Okay, so what else we have? Okay, Michelle says, what about the Red Room picture? What about the stuff you found on his phone? And now all of this. So you have taken him back 3 times. So you can 100% will keep taking him back. Yeah, exactly. What the same cycle that she did with Natter. Exact same cycle, exact same mindset, head space, heart space, all of that. Looking for excuses to go back rather than reasons to stay away. Like the forgiving somebody when they should not be forgiven, walking towards them when you should be walking away. Katie says he offered to delete all of his social media. Does that include all of his secret accounts or just the ones that you know about, Chantal? Yeah, listen, guys like that, cheaters, liars, scammers, con artists, they've got all kinds of accounts everywhere. You know he's got a burner phone or a spare phone that she doesn't know about, that she will never know about. And now that he's gotten publicly caught, he's just going to keep it much more hidden so it doesn't happen again. He knows he's already running around on thin ice with Chantal, so it's just going to make him more secretive, but it doesn't mean his activities are going to stop. But I still got a feeling more stuff's going to come out. Florida Salt and Sass says a year and he's already been caught twice. Let's not forget about the phone issue she went off on. She saw something snooping that sent her off. This is a great marriage that will definitely work out. Can't wait to see how she and others say here we ruined when it repeats. Hey, their marriage, their problem. And if it is ruined, it's not our fault. It really shouldn't have happened to begin with. A person has no business marrying somebody when they've only known them for 2 days. That's just ridiculous. Okay, this is an interesting moment that happened in the chat. Look down here at the bottom. Rachel sent a super chat saying Salah has an active profile on FetLife. I'm sorry. Now, for those of you that are wondering, what is FetLife? I know what FetLife is. FetLife is a website where those who are interested in or participating in the BDSM lifestyle, it's like a single site for them. You can go and talk to people, exchange photos, whatever. So I don't know if Salah has an active profile on FetLife. I'm not going to go look. It could be a troll saying that. I mean, something like that is said. To believe it, I want to see proof. But considering all the things we've heard about Natter and his interest in him trying to act like a dom, would it surprise me if he had a profile on FetLife or another site? Absolutely not. Like I'm one of those people, like, show it to me or I don't believe it. Until then, it's just words. But this person came forward and said that Salah has an active profile on FetLife, and then within seconds, that super chat was deleted. So for anybody out there, if you find something on Chantal or Salah, before you come out in the public and say, hey, guess what? He's got a profile over here and a profile over here. Do me a favor. Screenshot everything before you make it public, because if Salah does have an active profile on FetLife, he's going to delete it now. Save the evidence before you blurt out like that. But yeah, that happened. Several super chats and messages were being deleted by Salah in ghost mode. Let's see. What else we got here? Somebody's saying, drop the FetLife receipts. Drop them. Yeah, we need to see. Okay, so that's it for all of this stuff on Twitter. And I know that took a little while, but Chantal uses some F-bombs, and I kind of wanted to stay away from that because of monetization. So we just took our time a little bit. But we are, listen, I watched this live, and the first 30 minutes or so, there's not much to see. So why include it? Why react to it? She, like I said, she talks about the cats again. I don't want to go over that again. She's trying to rewrite history. She went shopping, got herself a tote bag, got herself some earbuds, just discussing little topics. Things really don't start to cook until about this point right here. So we're starting about 30 minutes in. The live itself was an hour and 41 minutes. I just wanted to trim down the useless garbage that I really don't want to talk about, and let's get to the meat and potatoes. So let's do this. What do you think? Like, are we here? Are we here for the main stuff? We don't care about the garbage. We don't care about the garbage. I got things to do anyway. I'm busy. I can't be here all day. So, all right, let's get to, shall we?
It's so weird. I don't blame you. Some people are literally just crazy people. Like, you know, I mean like crazy in like a criminally psychotic, nonsensical, like delusional, you know, like like I'm gonna message a married man and you know, try to suck FFG's ass. I'm gonna message a married man for 5 minutes of validation and like 2 minutes of clout.
Ma'am, ma'am, oh ma'am, didn't you see a married man? Didn't you brag about having intimate relations with a married man, and you were laughing and giggling about it and saying it's okay? His wife is in another country. They don't love each other, blah, blah, blah. You were looking for validation doing that. You were looking for self-worth doing that. And you're going to question somebody else's self-worth and validation? Pot, me, kettle. It's so you to go after a woman that you're not involved with, to put all the blame on the other woman versus the man whose last name you want to share. Kay Bella was never in a relationship with you. He's supposed to be in a relationship with you. He's the one committed to you. Had he been a good husband, a faithful husband, the right husband, that whole conversation wouldn't have happened to begin with. You're such a coward. Instead of going to Salah and giving him a talking to, you're going after her. And that's exactly the way you were with Natter, because you cared about Natter. You were seeking validation through Natter. You wanted your little connection with Natter. So you didn't want to go to him and yell at him because that might screw everything up for that. So go after the woman. It's all her fault. It's all her fault. You're the woman. You're an evil whore, blah, blah, blah. Hey, whore or not, if Salah were true to you, he would have been talking that nasty to her. If she messaged him, A, he wouldn't have initiated that kind of conversation. B, if she initiated it, he would have shut it down instantly, but he didn't. He initiated that conversation and he kept it going. And he took it very, very far. So the bulk of the blame is on Salah. He was the one acting as a loving, faithful husband. Handsomest man, right? You know, and trust me, Chantal, where there's one, there's more. I'm sure she's not the only one he's talking to. That's just the one that you know about. There's probably 10 more that you don't know about. You might find out about later, but for now, that's just the one you know about. And that's not counting the Red Room picture, girl. That's not counting what you saw on his phone before. So this is the third time. And if you were smart, you treat it like baseball. 3 strikes, you're out. This is his 3rd strike. But rather than say 3 strikes, you're out, you're trying to find a way to keep him in the game.
Like that kind of psychotic. Like I'm just like, I'm so over the internet right now. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm doing like members only. It's just a lot more quiet and it's just like a lot more laid back. Look at the creeps behind you. I saw them. Why are they creeps? You don't know they're creeps. People were putting screenshots behind a paywall. Yeah, and I hope they know that they did like revenge porn. I hope they know that. They're stupid fucking idiots. Like it's sad if that's your life, like really. Couldn't be me. And that's why I keep going, because no matter what, I'm not a piece of crap like that. I don't do that kind of shit to people.
Oh, yes, you do. You've had other people do your dirty work so that you and your channel, like your income, would never be threatened. I mean, you're not stupid. You're stupid, but you're not stupid. When it comes to your money, you are and you're not stupid. Like, you don't want anything threatening your income. So when it's possible, you have other people do the work for you, whether it's Natter, Dee Dee, one of the Beezers that are loyal to you. You do have other people do your dirty work. That way you can say, it wasn't me. My hands are clean. Don't punish me, YouTube. But you are a piece of crap.
Well, you know, like my life is not perfect and it can be messed up, but at the end of the day, you know, that's where my conscience is clean.
No, it's not.
They want to ruin your life just because they don't like you. Exactly. Like, what?
No one has to ruin her life. No one has to have a vendetta against Chantal. Not a single one of us, not anybody watching this video, do any of us have to lift a finger to hurt this woman. She is doing a fine, bang-up job all by herself to herself. All we got to do is grab our popcorn and our tea and our coffee and sit back and watch the fireworks. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're just sitting back and watching everything go down. But nobody has to expend any energy to hurt her. She's hurting herself just fine. She is reaping what she sowed. You know, I would say that what's going on right now is a boomerang effect, but considering what we know about Salah, it's not a boomerang, it's a pooperang. But it works just the same. If you toss crap out into the universe, Chantal, you get it back. And you've been tossing crap into the universe for years. And now it's all coming back in a flood. That's why we don't have to do anything. You've been very offensive online. You've said some horrible things. Whatever energy you send out, you get back. And that has nothing to do with anybody else. So that thinking of, we're going to ruin your life, we're across the universe and we're across the world. We're not in your living room. We're not in your Kia. We're nowhere close to you. We're not in your space. Interesting how all of these bad things are happening and you're swearing that people are ruining your life, yet nobody is there touching you or doing anything to you. Everything that you're dealing with right now is stuff that you're making happen to you.
The fuck? She wanted FFG's attention. How fucking sad and pathetic. Like, you want some, like, why? You know, like, why would you want Slimer's attention? Oh my gosh, I don't get it. Like, what's the, like, that's so high school mentality. Like, she's really pathetic. She just needs validation from any way.
Ma'am, if we're going to talk about a slime and wanting validation and being desperate for validation, let's not forget about Natter. What did you do to get his attention, to get validation from him? The links that you went to be around him, to talk to him. You paid his rent. You paid his phone bill. You paid his cable bill. You paid for his internet. You bought him an iPad. Is it an iPad? Yes. You bought him everything. You took him on trips. You bought him party favors. You bought his groceries. You created a whole channel for him. You filmed his content. You edited the content. You did the thumbnails. all that work for him. And even after he moved to Montreal to get away from you, you would spend your time and your money and your gas 2 hours back and 2 hours home to see him in secret, even though it wasn't a secret. And again, and you want to talk about somebody else seeking validation? Look at the links that you've gone to be around men that wanted nothing to do with you except just to collect the paycheck from your hand.
Hey, it's so sad. I stole her man away from her. Well, bitch, are you with him now? Like, okay. So that then you could say, yeah, I stole him. Yeah, and I saw like her sole purpose was to ruin our marriage. Like you're exactly like I said, psychotic bitches. I'm like I just wanted to take a bit of a break, but fuck it, whatever.
Would you guys give me just a moment? I'm going to refresh this and see if the chat is showing up yet. It does take a while.
So that
Yes, it is. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear it.
then you could say, yeah, I stole him. Yeah, and I saw like her sole purpose was to ruin our marriage. Like you're exactly like I said, psychotic bitches. I'm like I just wanted to take a bit of a break, but fuck it, whatever. I'm not gonna let anyone chase me away from here, and this too shall pass. Like everything I deal just to. I know some people are just.
You know what? The sick thing about Chantal, with everything that she knows about Salah, all 3 occasions where it's proven that he's looking around at other people, talking to other people. The fact that other women want him just makes her want to hold on to him more. Like makes her more desperate to hang on to a man that's not worth anything.
So disgusting. That's all. You know, I just hate those kind of people. And I wish they would just leave me the fuck alone and get a life.
Okay, the irony of this. So one of her beezers, Mimi Pondu, is in the chat saying, it's wild to entertain a married man. Mimi, are you new? Maybe you're new. I'll give you a pass if you're new. Chantal, when she was with Natter, or around about the time she was with Natter, she was seeing a married man and boasting about it, saying it was okay for her to do things with a married man because his wife was in another country. So what do you think about that? That your queen, she was doing things with a married man she shouldn't have been, and physical too.
But here you have it. Anyways. Like XO Charles, hey, welcome to Verbal Perplexities. Yeah, it's my platform exactly, and I'm the boss of everything.
That is the funniest joke I've ever heard. I am the boss of everything. Oh, so we got ourselves a boss bee over here, huh? Make way, all the bosses here. She's a boss lady. Let me tell you something, Foodie. If you were a boss handling your business, none of this would have happened. None of it. Because a boss is in control of everything. She knows herself. She controls herself. She's independent. She's walking on her own 2 feet. She doesn't need to hold on to somebody's hand for nothing. You are not a boss. You think you are, but you're not. And a boss certainly wouldn't put up with some desperate loser leeching off her funds. And that's happening too. What boss would accept a loser like Salah that has really nothing to offer, that she's got to pay for every which way? Go ahead and tell yourself you're a boss. We all know that ain't true.
Anyways, they will. I know they'll never stop. So just let them, like, talk to themselves. Like the best. I like the where I fault is I see like I get curious, and I see things like I'll watch like Yo Mama stream for example.
You know what? She defaults to that. Like she swears all she watches is Yo Mama. She's a la. She watches more than Yo Mama. She watches everybody on Twitter. She watches everybody on YouTube. FFG will do a stream and then she'll do a live or a video commenting on what FFG just said. And Yo Mama wouldn't be doing anything before that. So all that nonsense of I just watch Yo Mama and that's how I know about everything is a complete lie, Chantal. You'll make comments about things that people say in other people's community posts or in their live chat. So if you're just watching one person, how are you knowing about all these other things? Huh? Why can't you just be honest and say, like, I'm nosy and I've got nothing to do, so I'm running around everywhere? That would be more authentic, just to be honest.
Example. That's like the best. Like that's where I've been getting little bits of tea. But like if I don't watch anything dramatic, I'm so like literally so much happier. Like ignorance is bliss in this case. So I just
Yeah, and you're proving that because you know everything you know about Salah. He's got a wandering eye and fingers, you know, going to Instagram, doing all that sexting, and you're choosing ignorance because you want your bliss, your make believe phony bliss. So go ahead and stay in your bliss bubble, but eventually it's going to pop.
just don't. It's like McDonald's version of content. Like it really is just shit. Yeah, exactly, Lois Lane. You take no comfort in other people's misfortunes. Exactly. And then you know they'll be like, "Well, we're justifying it cuz she's a terrible person." I'm sorry, what? Like like they do things that are 100 times worse than I've ever done. Like it's insane. The projection. Nancy, welcome to Very Important Recipes. Some people are disgusting and have no boundaries. Exactly. Kelly, UK, welcome to Very Important Recipes.
See, Chantal, I know what you're doing right now because I've been here before with you. I know what this is. You decided to come online, do this live stream. You're talking. Salah's being a coward and he's hiding in the chat. He's watching the chat. He's listening to people. He's watching what people are saying. He's trying to figure out when he can surface again. Like, when is it safe? So here you are doing damage control for him by explaining to your beezers that you're not furious, you're not really mad at him, that you understand he's got interest, you guys are going to work. You are being his PR person and smoothing over his bad, rotten, poisonous public image so that people may watch him again or he can make his face known on your channel again and nobody will give him crap for it.
Their interest in quick posting quite disgusting. They make money off of another person's misery. Yeah, and then say I'm exploiting my own story. Like, you know, like it's so dumb. That's what's infuriating is that like collective mentality where there's no brain involved, like no intellectual thought forming these stupid theories, you know? It's just like ew, like what the I don't know. I don't know, but it's crazy.
Boy, she's got these beezers snowed in, doesn't she? Angelique says, they're all out of a job without you, girl. You have power. Does she? You know what? Let's swing the table the other way, Angelique. Where would she be without the reaction channels? Like, who would give a crap about Chantal? Some of the people that are on her channel, they came to know about Chantal because of the reaction channels talking about her. Her content is boring. Boring. Was boring for over a year. We did our best to make it interesting, and we did a good job considering what we had to work with. But we can easily react to somebody else. We can find another locale. We can go to Amber or somebody else or find something else to do. There's so many wonderful, creative people in the community. Reactors, archive channels, they're really creative. And the work they put into things like documentaries, guys, let me tell you something. Those things take time to put together. The longer the documentary, the more content that has to be in there. considering all the content that Chantal has put out like over the last 4 or 5 years, having to go back and find things, and you can't exactly go to her channel and find all the content because she deleted a lot of stuff. Finding all the clips, taking them all to an editing program, finding sound clips to go with that, creating thumbnails, little video things that go with it. It can sometimes take weeks and several hundred hours to put something like that together. There's more work in, say, a documentary or even a live reaction than she does in her live. But we're all going to be out of a job, right? No, she's going to be out of a job because YouTube is all she has. All of us that are reactors, let me tell you something. YouTube pays peanuts. It doesn't pay that much. It's just side money. It's not a big deal. But she needs the income, not us. Without YouTube, she'd have no job. This is her job.
Statement. Everyone has skeletons, yeah. They're all out of a job without me. Yeah, I know. But anyway, so that's it. I did a video, so I'll be putting that out, talking more about something. And then also, I have to do some cameos. I don't know what I want to do about like food. Just want to remind me how many.
God, even with the cameos, she has to involve food. Is there no area of entertainment that you could do something and food is not involved? Why does food have to be involved? Unless you're using Cameo to cater to the food fetish people. Is that it? You're trying to pull all those fetish guys over there? I kind of thought so. You know, just being kind of under the covers about it.
Unprovoked, he's guilty too. Yeah, I know, Nancy. I'm, not really talking about that right now. I have a video coming out. It's all projection, yeah. So, yeah, leaving it for a year, I know.
Not Teardrop over here saying, imagine you leave YouTube for a year. They'll be living on the streets. Not her saying that when her queen doesn't even have a home right now. To the point where she's not even got a hotel room. She's not even streaming out of like a Motel 6 room. She's streaming in her car because her mother is saying, you're not streaming here. You got to leave during the daytime. But not Teardrop trying to claim that we're going to be homeless. We got homes, thank you, and we're comfortable.
Anything we need warned? No. Like what? What you permit, you promote. Yeah, well, I will address that. I'm glad to see Maggie in there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying. It's hard, So it's tough, but at least, I can come here and talk to you guys, and I have people in real life I can talk to, like in person. I just don't like to.
Why?
I don't know. That's just like the type of weird I am, Anyway, so should I get a green smoothie? But I know I'll feel better if I drink a kale smoothie. I'll feel better. Takes two to tango, but it's your.
Okay, I want to go back up to this comment that was made by someone because I do like it. Where is it? And I'm looking for it. Hold on. Okay. Nancy Botwin says, wise words to live by. What you permit, you promote. Yeah, so if you permit him to be a bad boy and you forgive him, he'll do it again. But it also applies to her YouTube channel. By her putting stuff on her YouTube channel, whether it's a live stream or a video, she is putting it in the public eye, and she is permitting people to look at it, to think about it, to comment on it, and she's also promoting it. Just something to think about. What you permit, you promote. And Nancy follows up by saying, don't permit his actions. He will just do it again if it's that easy for him to get away with. You have a lot to worry about in your life. You don't need another man. Yeah, like this whole scandal blew up. There were no serious repercussions. None. There was no serious punishment, no serious consequence. She got mad, she screamed, she freaked out, and within 12 hours, he was completely forgiven. So the message that she's sending to Salah is, I can do this and she'll get mad, but there's going to be no serious consequences for what I do. She's not going to cut me off financially. She's not going to not come back to Kuwait. She's not going to send me money. So, like, that was easy. Like, I got nothing to worry about. He's not worried about anything because he knows it's just that simple to get back into her good graces. He's already betrayed her like 3 times. The Red Room picture, talking to somebody on the phone, something on the phone, and now this. 3 times in 1 year. Never any serious consequences for any of it.
Life no one else's. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think I know Nancy, but the thing is like you can't say it will happen again because sometimes men change and men grow, like and people make mistakes. So,
Ma'am, cheating is not part of growth. It is not part of growth. That's ridiculous to say cheating is part of growth. Oh, he was just growing as a person, so it's okay for him to cheat. No, it's not. No, it's not. Who told you that? Who gave you that impression that cheating is part of personal growth? Who said that? Who told you that lie? Or is that what you've got it mixed up in your head? It's not part of growth. Is that what he told you? Oh my God, he's really got you snowed.
it's hard when it's a one time like occurrence. It's like it's an infidelity, so it's super hard. But like if you have to wait
Oh my
and
God, like I'm just, my mind is still spinning like, oh no. Baby, I'm sorry that I was texting her, but I was just wanting to experience some personal growth. It's part of personal growth. Oh, that's okay, Salah. What? Couldn't be me.
in my opinion you have to weigh the good with the bad, you know? Like people are saying he's a bad person because of the type of like you know stuff that came out and it's like I would have never known it because like that's not his real life. Fantasy and real life are different, like
Nobody can tell me that Chantal did not know about his fetishes. She knew because the first live stream she did after everything broke, she wasn't shocked. Most people would be absolutely stunned and godsmacked and just smacked upside the head, figuratively, with that information. Be like, just they wouldn't know what to think. She didn't act shocked at all, not even the least bit surprised. If anything, she acted annoyed that this thing about him that perhaps she knew about, that it was just being exposed in front of everybody else. It was more annoyance than anything else, but not surprise, not absolute, like just dead shock. I think you knew, Chantal. I really think you knew. You don't even know how to do surprise right. I think you knew. And now you're feeling a bit annoyed and embarrassed that now everybody else knows what he's into. Maybe that's the entire reason he chose to be with you in the first place, considering your behavior, the farting and the burping and sitting on the couch and purposely messing your pants, messing in Natter's bed, all of that. Maybe that's what attracted him to you. Maybe he's got some fetishes and you're part of his fetishes.
and even if like no matter how taboo a fetish is, it's still it's still just fantasy. When it becomes real life, that's when it's bad. I'm not talking about the infidelity, but just the fetish part. It's like, and there are just things that we have to work on, like communication when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like So it's like, you know what I mean? It's hard. It's like you have to outweigh, like, in my real life, he treated me like literally like a princess. Like I've never opened my own car door. Like he's so a year and over something with this person, and never has he ever treated me like anything but a queen. And I think that's why he didn't want to use like degradation, like fetish on me, because he's like, imagine I talk to you like that. He's like, I could never.
One moment, y'all. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Just had a knock at the door.
So it's like, and I'm not excusing it, but I don't think that makes him a bad person alone. The infidelity, I think, like, marked that there's an issue that we have to rectify. And, if I forgive once, I can see forgiving once. If it ever happened again, I would be fucking gone. Like,
Yeah, you said the same thing about Natter. And we all saw how that played out. You kept going back and going back and going back and going back and going back. And even after talking about DV and SA, even after saying that he DV'd you and SA'd you, you kept going back. Even after going to the cops and making the allegations, you went back. You went back with a care package, with coffee and party favors. You kept going back. Even after him being with Dee Dee, being physically with another woman, you still wanted to be with him, to the point where you involved yourself in a three-way situation twice because you were so desperate for his attention. You had no willpower with him, and you have no willpower with Salah. And I think he knows that. And the fact that this happened and you're not even staying away for a month and not cutting him off financially for a month, I mean, he knows he's got you wrapped. He knows. Like, there's nothing to fear, that the consequences are not going to be dire.
ever happened again. And I'm basing that on the fact that I never saw this from him. Like I said, he treated me like a princess, Yeah, at the end of the day, like, people can give me their opinion. Sure, I appreciate it. And if I do go back, I'm prepared to deal with the consequences of whatever happens, you know? But he's a really, like, good person, like, other than this incident. And even in the screenshot, you see him say, I've never ever talked to another woman since loving Chantal. Like, I know he loves me. I know it's the thing is, like, most people don't even know our dynamic of our marriage. Like,
well, you know what? If he loves you, it looks like he loves everybody else too. Looks like he's spreading his love around all over the internet, looking for women to come fly to Kuwait when you're not there, telling them to, what's your salary? Pay to come here. He had full intention of seeing Kybella. Had she said, I've got the money and I can buy a plane ticket, I'll be on my way there, he would have said yes, and he would have met up with her. But she had no intention of seeing him, but he wanted to take it that far. So if he is getting online and talking to women, trying to persuade them to come meet up with him physically, what's happening locally, Chantal, that you don't know about? I'm sure there's women in Kuwait that he could meet up with locally. You'll probably never see him, never know about him, but if he's going that far with somebody abroad, imagine what's happening locally that you're not aware of yet. But I got a feeling that there's more women, they're going to come to the surface and they're going to talk.
because people don't even, how can you know the dynamic? You don't even know if you in your mind, you don't even know if we're married or not, So people, safe to say, behind closed doors, people don't really know everything, So it's like, I know that better because I live it. So I don't have the same rights. No, I do have the same rights. Kuwait is not oppressive towards women,
By the way, little something that I picked up earlier. I was in somebody's chat just lurking, and somebody in the chat said that the things that Salah has said already, those text messages, that could be subject to a $5,000 Kuwaiti dinar fine and jail if he's caught. Like, they don't play around with lewdness over there.
Susie, like, Yeah, and it was only in chat. It wasn't like a real life thing, you know? It's still infidelity and it still hurts, and I'm not excusing that. That's something that I have to decide if I can get over. Um, but I don't know. You know, that's just something. It's like my marriage. Like, is it worth throwing away a whole marriage where he's been nothing but amazing husband other than this one incident? And
You know, Chantal, I've said this before. I think I said it in my live chat last night. The reason why you're hanging on to Salah so hard is for a couple of reasons. For one, because you've invested so much time and money and energy into this dude, and you're a narcissist. And if you give, you expect something back. The more you give, the more you expect back. Like, you're not a person just give and it's about just being generous. You want some sort of reward or payment for services rendered. So all the time that you spent on Salah and setting up a channel for Salah and promoting his channel and buying him things and taking him places, you feel like you're owed his life, like you're owed his love. But love is not something that people owe you. It's just given. Also, at this stage in life, the way you are, because you put all of your eggs in one basket because you did not take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, you are such a mess. He's the only man left standing, literally the only one. There are no other options. There's nobody around saying, Chantal, come to me. I want you. I can do better than Salah. If you had a better option with both arms open, you go running to it. But you don't have anybody. There's no one around that wants your attention, that wants your love, that wants your companionship. If there was somebody out there that freely wanted you, you wouldn't have to pay people to be around you. Every single person that surrounds you these days is someone that you paid for companionship or to keep quiet, like Pete's. You paid Pete's to help you out and basically to keep quiet on the things you were doing. And he's die hard loyal to you. God knows why, but he was. But you can't get companionship for free. You can't get love for free. So you scrape the bottom of the barrel looking for something similar that you can pay for and that you can get. And that's going to be part of the power that Salah forever holds over your head. The fact that he's got options and he's going to throw that in your face. And you know you don't have options. So from that position, you do not have the power.
you know, he's really sorry. He's really repentive,
I'm sure he
whatever.
is.
And I mean, he's just like, do I really want to throw away that all that love and all the goodness of our family? Like, we have a pet family. I don't care if people think that's not real because there's no kids. It is. Do I really want to throw all that away just for this like stupid thing? And it's like, you know, people are focusing on his reaction, but it's like people don't ever like think that it's a bit messed up that somebody purposely tried to like ruin a marriage for entertainment. That's like, man.
You were out to ruin a marriage when you were sleeping with a married man, and you thought it was the funniest thing ever. Ain't karma a bee?
And like, that should hurt more than what happened to me. That should hurt you more than what happened to me, because you're gonna have to. Everyone has to face. You reap what you sow, 100% forever.
Hey, you said it. You said it, Chantal. You reap what you sow. What have you been sowing? What seeds have you been putting into the ground? What harvest were you expecting to get? When you've been tossing out negativity into the universe left and right by the armfuls, what do you expect to get? Good energy, good karma? No, nope, nope, not possible. You got to produce good energy with good thoughts, good deeds, good actions. You haven't done that. You're selfish. You're manipulative. You're controlling. You're greedy. You're clingy. You're possessive. You're obsessive. You've got addictions galore. You're codependent. You're suffocating. None of that produces good energy. None of it. None of it. So you reap what you sow. You've tossed all of that out into the universe. What do you think is coming back to you now?
You know, it's true for everybody. Don't like fat shaming. Sometimes he makes fat jokes with me, like in person. Like he's very he doesn't understand like fat shit. Like they're very blunt. You know, like if somebody sees that you're obese and you have
Chantal, he said in the beginning in a live stream, he wanted you to lose 200 pounds. He does not like you at your current weight. He just doesn't. There are men out there that are chubby chasers or regular men who just like big women, whatever you feel. He doesn't like you at your size. He's not attracted to you at your size. Maybe that's why he had kinks and fetishes and he didn't come to you. He went to somebody else, you think? I mean, you're right there. You have no problem with being degraded, with doing disgusting things. Why wouldn't he go to you first before anybody else? Why not you? Why not go to you and keep it private? Why go to somebody else that's more public and risk getting exposed, which he did? I mean, make it make sense. You are the degradation queen. You have no problem degrading yourself online for money. Why didn't he go to you?
a problem. Like even the doctors there are blunt about weight. You would feel so fat shamed if you're a Westerner and you go over there. Sorry, I got a free water. So I don't know. But yeah. I think it was all just like spur of the moment, like in the heat of the moment, like because it just looks like verbal diarrhea. Like it's just like holy, like I have someone here who will listen to my secret fetish I'm ashamed of and I never reveal and just blurt it all out, you know? Like whatever, I don't know. I guess a part of me just like I said, we know our dynamic. It's up to us what we want to do going forward. So you know, it's just No, but here's the thing, Applebee's, I'm not into that. He's never brought that up to me, like ever. So I don't think he even wants to do those.
Can I say something? I think she's lying. She's got a humiliation, degradation fetish. She's made mention that she has a poo fetish. Yes, she did. You know, purposely sitting on a couch and messing her pants on purpose on live. She's got it. She's got it. And she also made a very interesting comment recently saying, I don't do that stuff anymore versus I don't do that, period. I don't do that stuff anymore. That means you once did it. That means you'll do it again. Especially if you got a man in front of you and you don't want him straying. You said you're going to do some of his fetishes with him, but you're not saying which ones and how far you'll go. You're not being very specific. Not that you have to, because it's your personal private life. Who cares? But still, he's got very extreme, dark fetishes, Chantal. Do you understand that? These are not simple, sensual things. These are very dark things, degrading things. But if you have a humiliation, degradation fetish, it's right up your alley. Please don't sit there and try to repaint your image about I'm vanilla and I've always been vanilla. We know better. You were doing some nasty stuff with Natter. You would come home almost bragging about it. You've done some really gross behavior. So when it comes to your man, you'll do anything to make him happy. Anything. We saw the links that you went to with Natter, kissing his feet and all that. And you enjoyed doing that stuff with Natter. You'll do it for Salah. You might be happy or unhappy doing it, but you'll still do it. But here's the thing. Even if you're willing to do it with Salah, the big question is, will he be willing to do it with you? Will he want to do it with you, or will he continue to go to other people? I think he's going to go to other people. I don't think that there is a true, honest attraction there physically. There's no sexual turn on aspect there. And that's why he went to K Bella in the first place. If he was truly attracted to you as you are physically or whatever, you would have been the first person that he went to. The only person. You're supposed to be his wife. But he chose to step out of the marriage and go to another person and have these conversations. And you're over there claiming innocence like, I didn't know. You probably did. It's just that he don't want you. You understand? He doesn't want you. He's not attracted to you. He's not turned on by you, even to the point of having a sexual conversation. No, he's sending peen pictures to other women and having sexual conversations with them. He's giving them the intimacy that you want. And if you are his wife, that should belong to you and you only. But other people are getting it. And you don't think that's disturbing? You don't think that's wrong?
Things with me. So I don't have fetishes like that. So,
Liar.
But there's like a medium you can meet with somebody. You can spice things up more. You can make things.
I'm not trying to kink shame or anything, but where exactly is the middle for defecation fetishes? What? Like, I don't even want to know. I don't want to imagine. I'm not putting that in my mind. I don't want to think about it. I just, given what I've seen of his text, like, what is the middle? What is the middle ground? There is none. If you have a fetish, you're not going to be happy with just the middle. You want it all, right? So what's the new deal? I'm going to satisfy some of his not so dark fantasies, or I'm going to go halfway with some of them, but not all of them. That means there's still going to be stuff in the closet that he's not going to show you, that he's not going to tell you, that he's not going to do with you, that he's still going to step out and do with somebody else, right? Either you're dealing with all of it or somebody else is dealing with part of it. It just amazes me how common sense is not so common. Some people were missing in the common sense line. Obviously, she was not there. She was having a nasty when common sense was being given out. But if you're with somebody in a marriage or relationship, if you have a partner and that they don't look at you and have that thought, that feeling, that connection, where they have that thought in their mind of, this person is all I want. They're everything to me. I am not just satisfied, I am satiated. I am full. I am not empty or lacking or thirsty or hungry in any way. They fulfill all of my needs. I'm so fulfilled. I don't have the urge or the want to go out and talk to another like that. I don't feel like I'm still searching for someone or something. If you don't have a partner that thinks that way, then whoever you're looking at should not be your partner. If you're with somebody and there's a feeling of, I'm not happy, I'm still searching, I'm lacking in something, apparently whoever you're with is not the right one. You should keep looking. And apparently Salah is not happy. He is thirsty or hungry for something because he's searching it out in everybody but you.
Red velvet and less vanilla, like, seriously, so I mean, hey, whatever. I'm just saying, I'm trying to look at it maturely, like, to learn from it. Like, anyway, like, you got to make this decision for yourself. Exactly. Creepy. Relationships take work. Most people don't want to put the effort in. It's too difficult. They really do, like, but other than that, he treats me very well. Every emotion you see in our videos, our couple videos, I know it looks corny.
It is.
But it's all real. Like we really, really, really just what was I gonna say? There's somebody here distracting me. What the hell do you want? Only I'm allowed here. Oh, a jogger. I notice a lot of jogger dudes wear spandex. You've been with your husband 36 years, and I'm sure you've had up and down moments, right? Shut up, Applebee's. But you guys are getting it wrong. Saying he does, it's not saying he likes shit. It's say like whenever it's like there's a type of fetish where it's like you want to like, I don't even want to talk about it, but whatever.
Oh, please don't. Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's like
Chantal, he was talking about defecating on women and disgracing the Bible in a really foul way. Those are some really dark, dark fantasies. Like the feeling was it's all based in hate. It's not about doing something normally sexual. It's about I want to disgrace religion. I want to disgrace women, degrading women. Like there's an element of hate there. You understand that? Again, I'm not kink shaming. I'm just giving my point of view here. Like there's something in him that he's just gets into the idea of disgracing or degrading something. He's got those dark desires. Are you willing to go the full Monty with that? Because it doesn't sound like much fun.
so yeah, whatever. Are you at the outhouse? No.
Oh, why didn't she say no?
There's some people who have degradation fetish, and that friggin' bitch also was playing along with it, saying, you know, like, oh, I like that. I want you to degrade me. I want to be abused. I want to be raped.
Okay,
You know, like,
messy girl saying he is a dom. No, he's not. No, I've known real doms. He's not a dom. He's not. He may think he is, just like Natter. Neither one of them is. I would not call him a dom, because if he were an alpha or a dom is somebody who they're in control of their world. They certainly do not hook up with and depend on a woman like Chantal to pay their way, be codependent on them. That's just no, that doesn't happen.
so when two people are consensually involved in some kind of weird fantasy, whatever, it's different. Like, it's not, doesn't make a person a bad person. Like, even if you think it's weird, you know? So some people have a fetish for licking roller coasters. I mean, what the I don't know. It's if in real life, because he's never been violent, never abusive, never yelling, never being, he's always goofy, funny, laughy, loving Salah, you know? So yeah, he's told me about some things, preferences, you know, you have that discussion about intimacy and what you like when you're meeting somebody and you're exploring.
Oh, so you did know. So you guys had that conversation, did you? What do you like sexually? And he told you, but I guess he didn't tell you everything. Part of a relationship is being open with your partner. He wasn't completely open to you. Or if he was, you're lying about it and saying you didn't know everything when you did.
Each other, whatever. And, you know, it just kind of never went anywhere. Like, he would bring up that the sort of things that he liked, like, you know, like more domineering. And
Oh God. Uh how much you want to bet when he told her that part of I'm domineering that really turned her on? Because whether Chantal wants to admit it or not, like that side really gets her. Like that really gets her going. She doesn't want to be dominated all the time. She wants to be dominated when she wants to be dominated, when she wants to be in control. She wants to control back. She certainly controls the money. But she is attracted to what she perceives as dominant men. The problem with Chantal is that she doesn't understand that guys who are complete jerks aren't necessarily dominant, they're just jerks. But in her mind, being a jerk and being rude and mean and maybe even abusive is a dom. It's not. No. No, but she likes that edge, if you will, that dominant edge, but only on her terms.
In bed, and I was like, you know, we don't talk about this usually, but I'm just saying for give you the picture. Like, I was like, oh, okay, like I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm very vanilla. I
Okay,
like
you know what? I'm just going to get a little bit graphic. I'll be as gentle as I can. Chantal, I'm not defending Salah, but I'm just going to say this. Salah is a younger man who's active and he has needs, which are far different from your needs. As a younger man in the bedroom, I'm sure he wants to be more active. You, ma'am, you're almost 600 pounds. You are in very, very, very bad health. You have trouble walking, you have trouble moving, you have trouble breathing. And you are proud of the fact that you are starfish queen. So, as a nearly 40-year-old woman, and you chose a younger man who's more active, and you're not even in good health to be active in the bedroom, how do you expect to fully satisfy a younger man if all you do in bed is lay there because that's really all you can do? You're not even doing yourself any favors by taking care of your health so that you could satisfy your husband. You're not being hygienic and keeping yourself clean, which I'm sure adds another layer to why he may not be touching you. You're not doing what you need to do to make yourself healthy and to keep him happy. And you don't expect him to step out and find other people because with you, he can't possibly satisfy his needs. If it happened once, it's going to happen again.
my favorite is like, you know, romance like to the max, like to the max.
You didn't wait, stop. Stop. You say that, but when you were with Natter, it wasn't about romance. He wasn't a romantic person. So what do you mean you got addicted to Natter and there was no romance there? And Salah is not romantic with you. He leaves you alone. He's just nice to you. Is that all it takes to get in your good graces is to be nice? Chantal, when you're married to somebody, nice is not good enough. You could be nice to the mailman. You could be nice to the cashier at the grocery store. You could be nice to the person selling flowers on the corner. When you have a marriage, it's about more than just polite and nice. There has to be something deeper or it's not going to work. And let me share something that it took me a long time to figure this out. I thought when it came to marriage and relationships that love was the top of the mountain, that love was all, and that was the most important thing. And it took me a long time to figure this out. There is something more important than love. Connection. Connection is more important than love because without connection, love cannot last. It cannot live for very long. If you're not connected to your partner and them to you, if you're not plugged into each other, eventually whatever emotion you feel is going to fizzle out. You guys are not connected. You may be fond of each other, you may be friends to each other, but there's no deep, spiritual, passionate connection.
You know, and there's not really anything really romantic about being spit on, you know, so people have different likes, you know what I mean? And yes, that compatibility is important, but we're also attracted to each other and have our own intimate life, and there's love there on top of that. So it's like, you know, it's there's like a medium. I didn't order glasses yet. Yeah, teardrop, I know. Me too. like there's 80 people in your. I know. I want to be private. That's the problem with being a public figure. Sometimes things just aren't private. The Lockma pictures making the rounds? No. Rebecca. Welcome to Recent Peace. What does that even have to do? Like, what are you talking about? No, I don't partake in.
Okay, let me solve the mystery of that. So, given the current conversation about Salah, people are showing pictures of her eating the messy chocolate lakmas on Twitter. You can imagine why, because it looks like she's eating something else. But yeah, they pop back up. That's the joke.
In that thing. That's not something I enjoy. Like I said, I'm very vanilla. So
If you're vanilla, how are you going to satisfy him? You're saying over and over and over again, I'm vanilla, I'm vanilla, I'm vanilla. Then how are you going to satisfy a non-vanilla sex kind of man? How's that going to work? Because if you're vanilla and he wants a different flavor besides vanilla, obviously he's not going to go to you.
Oh. He doesn't like skinny girls, exactly. But he also makes fat jokes, but it doesn't really bug me because I know, like, he's not malicious with it, like, when we're together. It's not like you're fat and gross kind of thing, no.
Well, he's not stupid. He's not going to call you fat to your face. He's not going to be directly insulting and cruel because you are a sugar mama and he doesn't want to mess up a good thing. So yeah, he's going to be nice.
You know? Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Clara. I'm plain Jane. We know a little too much now. Yeah, exactly. That always ends up being the case, and people are like, yay, content. I hate you all. Anyway, I'm just.
Well, can I just give my opinion about that? Look, I'm glad that there's something different to the conversation besides the mukbangs and the blue couch and the same environment in Kuwait. I want to talk about different things, but I'm going to have just a completely sincere, honest moment here. I understand that there are people in the audience that any talk of anything adult, BDSM, kinks like this make you guys uncomfortable. So I wish we could be talking about something other than this, something that doesn't make people in the audience uncomfortable. But this is the current conversation. So if anybody feels awkward, uncomfortable, you're like, I come to YouTube for YouTube. I do not want to have these X-rated conversations. I get it. Neither do I. Honestly, I don't. It's like, this is something that should be off YouTube and discussed elsewhere. But this is what she's talking about. So I got to talk about it too. But I'll be gentle about it if possible.
Kidding. That's why I like talking online, because I can talk for 2 hours about something. And if you're face to face with somebody and you're talking for like 2 hours about something nonstop, there's only so many nods and, oh, okay, you can do like in 2 hours facing somebody. So I didn't think y'all were being sexual. Why would you think that we're not intimate? Captain O'Reilly!
I know you're not. And that's not me being a hater. I know you're not intimate. I know you're not. Because I watched you during the Natter era. And we could always tell when you and Natter had been with each other physically. Like your whole demeanor was different. You would be flying on a cloud for days. And forgive my bad language, everybody. But since she's been with Salah, she's been absolutely frustrated. There's that sexual frustration all over the place. And Salah's not even smart enough to satisfy her once in a while so she's not suspicious and go off and do his thing with somebody else. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. He's saving all his loving for other people.
Welcome to Reporting Recent Peace. how does somebody like FFG have the nerve? Have you seen what she looks like for real?
How do we get from talking about Salah to FFG? Why is she roping FFG into this conversation? It has nothing to do with her. Nothing at all. But of course, she's got to include FFG. I'm sure Frenchie's going to love this.
Real. I'm being like, this is scientific, okay? This is fact objective. She sits there and cackles with 5,000 people about.
Take note of that, Chantal. She's got 5,000 people in her chat. 5,000. When is the last time you broke those numbers? Are you mad? Stay mad. Stay very mad.
Me not being able to have sex with my husband. Why? Because of how I look? Like, are you kidding? You're fat. You have a weird SpongeBob.
Not this one, fat shaming people when she doesn't want people to fat shame her.
Body. You look like Slimer, and you have the voice of the Wicked Witch of the East and West. And you're gonna sit there telling me, like, I don't understand that. That's so stupid to me. If I married somebody, you guys saw me for the past however many years. How sexual of a person was I? I was nasty. So if
you're still nasty,
I'm gonna marry somebody who doesn't fulfill that, it's not gonna last. You know, like,
not true. I think you and Salah have an arrangement that he will just act as the part of the husband, but he doesn't have to go that far to be intimate with you. You're so desperate. I believe that to have a man by your side, to be your caretaker, to be your companion, if that man said to you, I will agree to everything except that. We are not going that far. Just to have that man by your side, you would agree to it. And you would still pay for it. Yes, you would. You would agree to any terms as long as that man stood by your side.
Sorry, it's just not going to. It's true. Like, there's no friggin' way. You think I'm gonna, like, they think I'm gonna pay for everything. A new car, but I'm broke. A new car, a new, like, a whole life, whatever. And, like, I'm not gonna get anything, like, at all.
So she just admitted that she pays for everything. Self-confession. That's what we love about her over here. She lies, but she tells on herself. She just told on herself. She just said she pays for everything, but we already knew that. But thanks for the confirmation.
Like, I'm going to give money, whatever, you know, like, whatever. I don't know. Just because you're vanilla doesn't mean you can't taste strawberry. Yeah, for sure, you know? Like, yeah, there's always ways to improve things. But it's real life, you know? I think, you know, most people would be automatically, like, if that happened to you, you'd be like, I'm so out.
I would.
It's fair. Maybe some people would. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of people who wouldn't. I would forgive. Like, you know.
And they're stupid if they do that. If you find somebody in your life that you're with and that you've given them your heart, your soul, and you're with them and you're investing time and energy into them and you're trying to build a life with them, and then you find out that they're talking like that with other people, they're being intimate on that level with other people, and you forgive them, they'll do it again. You're giving them permission to do it again. No, unforgivable, unacceptable, goodbye.
Because it's not that easy. It's not that black and white.
Yes, it is.
And it's not logical what they say. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, exactly. That's what the thing is. Like, no, like I said, no intellectual thought when thinking about that at all. He's not nearly as prude as I thought. Yeah, I know. That's what's shocking for me too. That's when I was saying I don't know you, because, like, I didn't really know about that side.
Yes,
like,
you did.
You know.
You know, she seems almost proud of the fact that all of this stuff came out about him. Like, look, I have a man who's not a prude. Look, he's got this side to him. Isn't that cool? No, it's not. But look how proud she is. Look at that smug smirk on her face. Duper's delight. Look, everybody, I got a kinky man. She had the same attitude with Natter. Like, he is so kinky. He's so dominant. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. And nobody wants him either.
Anyway. So, yeah. I'm just a little more mature with how I handle, like, I'm trying to be more mature with how I handle my emotions and look at it also from, like, you know, use some reasoning, like I said, outweighing the good, which is like everything, like about our relationship, to the one thing. So, yeah, because I always think like if you go back to somebody because you don't want to be alone, it's not gonna work out. There has
Well,
to be
that's exactly why you're going back to him, because you don't want to be alone. You don't know how to be alone. You're not even trying to figure it out. You're not even saying to Salah, look, obviously you've got needs. You're going to other people. Your mind is in the right place. So you go figure out who you are and go get your needs met with whoever. I've got to do some self love. I'm going to stay in Canada. I'm going to get my mind right. I need some time to do that. So let's just part ways and agree to disagree or whatever and do our own thing. But you're so determined to hang on to something that's not worth anything. Always giving your love to everybody but yourself. Always giving the care to everybody but yourself. And that's why you and your personal life have suffered. Always giving away what you should keep and use.
more substance to it, you know, just religiously alone. Yeah, I know Lois Lane, and he is really dealing with the guilt of that. Like, trust me, you know, um, he's not feeling too good. That's why he's not here. That's why he's away. He's just not feeling great and dealing with things, you know? So, yeah, it's not easy. The cross and Bible. There's like fetishes out there of like kind of like religious degradation and stuff. But it's mostly just all play and like just talk, shit talk, you know? Um or maybe it's my karma because I used to do that all the time with dudes. Like, well, I did that with a dude specifically when I was with my ex, you know? So, and it doesn't mean anything. Like, I know when I would do it, I would be like, yeah, I would say whatever at the time they wanted to hear, just in the moment. Um, you know, if somebody said they liked something, just like what she said to him, like, oh, I like talking about that stuff and blah, blah, blah. I did that too. Like, whatever they want to hear in just in the heat of the moment, just for fun, because I was bored and I wanted extra validation, you know, because I was getting validated from BB. Like, I was like, oh, like he would.
I'm kind of confused why BB's name is coming up again. BB is her ex from like what, 5 or 6 years ago, and she didn't talk about him for the longest time. Now all of a sudden she's bringing up his name. Chantal, I don't know why you're thinking of BB, talking of BB, but why not leave that man out of this conversation? He has nothing to do with it. Let him live his life. He's so done with you. Leave him alone.
was the best. Like, he was the best with that, But then it's a you problem. I don't know. So I kind of understand because I went through it. It's weird. Yeah, yeah, Applebee's. Angelique, I don't know like how it works, I guess. But you can use things like Instagram and stuff like that legally. I hate being out that there's no outhouse nearby. This is why I go to the outhouse. Like, people think that I'm gonna go on live stream and pick up cocaine. Like, by the way, the only time I ever experimented in drugs, that's total defamation of character. Like, I was a crackhead.
Ma'am, you yourself came onto a live stream and told us by your own free will that you picked up a used meth pipe and you smoked out of it. You also told us an occasion that you were with Natter, and whatever it is you were doing, you did too much and you almost went too far and OD'd. Something happened and it scared Natter, and he told you he was not giving you any more because you were just hounding him for more, 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 more. So if you're over there saying you never experimented, maybe that's your workaround, because it wasn't an experiment. It wasn't like a one-time only thing. It was you doing things on the regular, which goes beyond experimenting. But you told us many times of things you did with Natter. Or have you forgotten?
Please, I'm the fattest crackhead around then.
Okay, wait a minute. So that's your defense, the fact that you are a big woman and you are insinuating that those who do chemicals, that they're all thin? Ma'am, there are people that do the white party powder that are obese. It is possible, because you can do that. You can do the white party powder and you can go hours without eating, but the moment that you run out or you stop doing it, you are tremendously hungry and you go to town with the food. In your case, you were using the white party powder to suppress your hunger because of your BED. So you would use it for energy during the day and then do tons of edibles at night, which would bring the bee monster out of its cage, and you could sit there and eat for hours. So don't try to use that as a defense. That's not working with me. Okay? Stop trying to say, hey, look at me. I'm a big woman. Does it look like I did chemicals? Yes, because we saw you do them. We saw you. We heard you, all that sniffing in the bathroom and in your bedroom right next to the camera. We heard you. We saw you. You showed us. Sitting there doing the button mushrooms. I have to call it that. Doing the mushroom thing. Yeah, that too. You were doing all kinds of stuff with Natter.
Hi, Kiana. Thank you. The culture differences make it very difficult. Yeah. I don't think you'll ever be. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever be able to trust him again. Tracy, you know what? Actually, I think I can. Like, that's.
You can't. You don't. You don't trust him. You didn't trust him before. You certainly don't trust him now. You're fooling yourself into thinking that you will, though.
The thing. I think I can. Because, like, if you even see in the screenshots between them, he says, like, you know, I've never talked to another woman, and he was being open at that time and discreet, so I don't think he would be lying about that, and I believe that.
Look at the screenshot. Kiana says he even told her he loved her and wanted both of you. So he's telling another woman that he loves her, something he should only tell to you, and he wanted both of you. Greedy, wanting two women. It wasn't just sexting. He was doing like the emotional cheating, telling another woman that he loved her. And you're okay with that?
Because, like, you know, he loved her and wanted both of you. Thanks, Kiana. No, there was like a I love you both kind of thing, but I don't think, like I said, it's like heat of the moment. Like, I've told guys I've loved them in chat too. Like, just it's not.
Yeah, and Heather follows it up with saying asking her to come there doesn't read like fantasy. No, it doesn't. Sounds like some plans were being made, because according to the text that I read, Chantal was supposed to stay in Canada for a year and a half. Plenty of time for him to play around, but she's planning to go right back. So he was already planning on being a bad boy with other people while she was gone.
Not that kind of love, I don't think. And
you don't think?
I don't know. Like, I think for sure that, I don't know. There's just a lot to weigh, you know?
Messy Girl says, trust is like a mirror. Once it's broken, even if you fix it, you will always see the crack. Yeah, once a mirror is broken, it's never whole. You'll always see like a distorted reflection. The only thing you can do is get a brand new mirror.
Yeah, okay. Trust is like a mirror once it's broken. Yeah, like, I'm not saying like I'm condoning it, but
you are.
I don't think that he would ever do it again.
You don't think so?
If, like I said, if it does happen, I'm prepared to deal with the consequences. And
by saying if it does happen, you're already prepared for it happening again. You know it's going to happen again. Because if you knew it wasn't going to happen again, you wouldn't say if. You're already preparing. You know what a runaround he is, and you're okay with that. You are co-signing on it. You're pathetic.
And that would be it. And he even said, like, you know, I swear on this and that. And like, if it ever did happen again, then, you know, like, I don't know. He's very sorry. And I don't know that our whole marriage is worth throwing away for that kind of kind of thing, you know. Um,
She's only saying that because she's got nothing else. There is no plan B. There is no backup plan. There is no backup villa. There is no backup way out of this. She doesn't have any roots in Canada. It's not like before when she was with Natter, and if she got mad at him, she could just run back to the villa and Pete's and the cats and forget about him. She gave up all of her roots by moving to Kuwait. She has no home. She has nothing except her YouTube channel. So I'm sure that's weighing on her mind of her decision that if she stays in Canada, she's going to have to put down roots all over again. And that's going to cost a tremendous amount of money and time and effort. And can she do it with like a bankruptcy on her record? And she's going to be alone because Pete isn't going to move in with her, I don't think. Like, she's looking at it from the perspective of, I'm sure, I have a place back in Kuwait, but I don't have a place in Canada. Chantal, if you wanted to, you could get a room somewhere. You could get a Motel 6 room, rent it for a month, and stay there and do live streams back to back to back and make money. But all you could think about is the easy way out. But the easy way is sometimes not the best way.
so, but we did talk a lot, obviously, you know, and like I went through my emotions of like, why you fucking dickhead, like that kind of stuff. um, so that's just it. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's my decision, I guess I have to make. And um,
Somebody's asking in the chat, Susie says, did Salah want you to do this live? Probably. He wants her to come online and talk to the Beezers and calm them down and get them more on his side. So when he finally makes himself known in her chat, they won't go to town on him. She's here to smooth over the hate and let them know, I forgive him. It's okay. He's got interest. He was just repressed, blah, blah, blah. This is her just trying to clean up part of his image, although it will never be cleaned up. It's forever stained.
yeah. You know, Salah the best, Chantal. We're only what we see and hear online. Able to give him a chance to try to. Yeah. Just based on like how we even the rape fetish, Clara. Like that's why it hasn't happened. Like he hasn't talked with me like about this stuff because I'm not into that kind of fetish thing. Like
Chantal, you're going over the same points over and over again. Can we move it along? You already said this.
could be in a dominant like a thing like that. I don't mind being like submissive, but the thing is also by nature I'm not very submissive. Like in any relationship I've had, I've always been the more dominant one. So that's like there's like
Yeah, but you pretended to be submissive to Natter because you were attracted to Natter. So that's what he wanted. So you became that. Do you see this as a problem? That every guy you get with, you're like, what does he want? What does he need? I'm going to become that for a while just to get him with me and attached to me. You have this creepy mentality of, I just have to get into his house, but it goes further. You think all I have to do is creep my way into a guy's life and embed myself to the point where he can't get rid of me, and then I've got him. You know, Salah is obviously looking for somebody kind of submissive-ish to degrade, to do things with, and you're not it. You're far too bossy and bratty, and he knows that. and he's not attracted to you, and that's why he's going to other people. But stop going over the same points, Chantal. Let's talk about something different.
It's like a bit like there could be a power struggle issue, maybe.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know. But I don't like
that was the whole
I'm not
problem with her and Natter. Is they were too much alike, way too much alike in a lot of ways, and they both were all about I have to have the power. See, that the big joke is that they were two con artists and scam artists that they underestimated each other. She looked at Natter and thought he's just some skinny, stupid, desperate crackhead that needs money. I can control him. And he looked at her and thought, oh, she's just some desperate, thirsty, dehydrated, love starved, fat broad. She's dumb. I could take advantage of her. I can get what I want. And they both underestimated each other. And they locked horns and they played tug of war with each other about who had the power at what moment. And that resulted in all the drama that we saw for over a year.
used to being like, you know, yes, my lord kind of thing. Like that's just not me, you know? So like I don't know. It's tough. Like when you have somebody who's like maybe into something that you're not really, but you have your own way of being intimate that's like uniquely yours. Kaya Man Terrence was watching That's So Raven in the other room while Kaya was giving it.
You know, if you're going to be in a relationship for real, if you're going to be serious with somebody, I would think it's important to have that conversation of what are your sexual interests? Do you have any kinks? What are your desires? To really go in depth with that conversation, because sexual needs are a big thing. It's part of the glue that holds the relationship together. Having your partner fulfilled and you being fulfilled. You really got to have that, because if you're the person you're looking at as a partner, if they want to do things that you don't want to do, that you're not comfortable with, it's not a good idea to get involved with them knowing they want those things and you're not going to do it, because they're going to be unfulfilled and frustrated, and you're going to forever know that they're not happy, and there's going to be problems. If you're going to have a partner, you have to be compatible on every level. You just can't say, oh, they want some things, but because they love me, they'll just forget about those things and be with me anyway. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. But that's how Chantal thinks. That just because somebody has desires, because she's got a paycheck and she's paying them, that they're just not going to be a sexual person, and their sexual desires go away and she will never have to deal with it. That's not a relationship, Chantal.
Advice, drop solo period, he's then close porn, and use our word. Well, thanks for the super chat, but that's the thing though, yo mama, it's not he didn't rape anybody in real life. Um there is such thing as grape fantasy, and it's like a dominant thing, and it's like just fantasy.
No,
If
no,
it's
no,
just
no, no. Stop it. Stop it. That's misinformation. And let me correct you. The R fantasy has nothing to do with being a Dom. Don't you dare say that. You can be a Dom and not have that fantasy, do that fantasy. That has nothing to do with being dominant. When the R thing happens, it has to do with power. Has nothing to do with being a Dom. Don't say that to the public, because it's just not true.
fantasy and fetish, it doesn't make somebody a bad person, you know? I've never seen him be violent ever, or any kind of way. Like what you've seen with him on video, that's how he was, like with me all the time. So I don't agree with.
I'm going to say something that might scare you, Chantal, and it should. Something you should know and something you should think about. And I'm not wishing this upon you. I'm just making you aware of it. You could be around somebody for a long time and think you know them. They could be the nicest person. They could be the most gentle person. They could be polite to you. And you think, oh, he's just a nice, gentle, docile person. And then one day they show you a darker side of themselves that you never saw coming. And it could be potentially dangerous. It could be potentially lethal. So you're over there with Salah, and you claim this side of him you never knew about. So the thing to think about is, what other sides are there to this person? Now that I've seen these texts, now that I've seen how dark these desires are, some of them filled with hate, wanting to degrade women, like these urges revolve around sexual desire. Could there be the possibility that he may want to hurt you out of sexual pleasure? Like just out of nowhere? Just something to think about, honestly. Like you think he's one way, and then one day he's a complete other way, and you never saw it coming. Never. It happens. It does happen. People get sucked into relationships or affairs or whatnot, and they think, I know this person, and then something dangerous happens. Consider that thought.
With you there at all, just because of that. Yeah. So, but I know that a lot of people are going to not agree with me, and a lot of people are going to think I should never go back. A lot of people are, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's not. Some people, when somebody cheats, some people take the person back, give them another chance. And I'm,
You know, Chantal, Salah aside, this whole scandal aside, you shouldn't go back. You need to take care of yourself. Self-love. So to giving your love away to a man, give it to yourself for once. This trip to Canada might be your last. Might be the last time you see Canada, or go to Burger King, or get a Nashi, or go to Starbucks. It could be the last time you see your family. Your health is bad. You should stay in Canada and take care of your doggone self. If your man loves you, he will wait. Love is patient. Love waits. If the love is true, love will wait. Or he will do what he needs to do to come to Canada, be with you. I mean, he's your man. If he loves you, wouldn't he be motivated to do what he needs to do to come to Canada to live with you? So you going back and forth to him? You should stay in Canada and go to inpatient. Get some therapy, all that. But you're not thinking about that. You want to fly back to Kuwait and sit next to him and scroll on his phone. Meanwhile, you're going to be bored again, lonely again, depressed again, doing the mukbangs, gaining more weight, eating your feelings again. Girl, if you go to Kuwait, you're going to be bedbound within 6 months. And again, I'm not saying that with hate. But you're already in bad health. And you don't care. Because all you can think about is that stupid man.
I'm just saying that that's up to me. And I'm trying to look at the good of our marriage, outweighing this one moment. And like I said, if it ever happened again, it won't, because he's deleting all of his social media. Won't. I warned, like I said, you have to be prepared that I'm gonna be like, and is that worth it? Is that how you can live? Like somebody always breathing down, like absolutely, blah blah blah. I'll do anything, like anything for you, anything it takes. Like I love you, And so, and it obviously was just talk, like about her going there, because he knew she would never be able to afford it. He's not going to.
He did not know that. The text messages that I saw, that I showed you guys on my channel through a video, he was asking her what her salary was. He said, I paid for a plane ticket for Chantal. Wrong. She paid for it because you don't have any money, sir. But that's not the point here. But he was asking her about her salary and how much money she could send him. And then when Kai Bella said she couldn't pay for the plane ticket, he's like, oh, shoot. So he didn't know that she couldn't come to Kuwait. At first, he thought she had the money to buy a plane ticket, that she was so into him that she would just do it. So he didn't know. He was asking her to get a plane ticket to take a ride to Kuwait. He didn't know. He was asking about her salary and telling her that she needed to pay him.
Spend our money and like on like some dumb whore, and like he's like telling me every day to come home like early. So how is that going to happen? Like it's just stupid. She's so dumb. Imagine doing that for like 2 minutes of validation because you hate your fucking self so much. I can't with people. Watch for red flags.
Not you coming down on other women and calling them out for doing things for validation, when how much did you do for Natter for validation from him? Remember, you crawled across the floor naked and kissed his feet. Yes, you did. You did. All to get like a scrap of love from that man when he never gave it to you. But you wanted it anyway. And the live stream that he did, that I remember very clearly, Chantal, you were all up in it, saying, I got the ring, I got the dress, claim me. You were desperate for him to claim you. Desperate. To the point where you bought your own engagement ring. He didn't even buy it. And you posed with it in pictures, trying to pressure him into a relationship. That's how much you want to be validated, to be in a relationship. Don't talk about somebody else's validation when you've been so desperate.
Flags, yeah. Yeah, I know, Susie. That's the thing, you know. It is my life. Kiki. Welcome, very pretty university. Don't hover too much, though. That could cause more problems. That's the thing. Like I'm swallowing it, and like, okay, you know, there's not. I'm like, is there anything else that's ever going to be found out? Like, there's never anything else. There was never any.
I told you, y'all. Remember the remember the reading I did? Didn't I say in the beginning of that reading, like I just felt that energy that Chantal like was taking her little break, and she was in Salah's face saying, dude, what else is out there? You need to expose it all. Tell me the other girls. Tell me the messages. I need to know everything. Like lay the dirt on the table, because I need to get ahead of this. She's confessing to it now that she did that.
Anything before this, and there's not going to be anything else. I don't know. If there is, like I said, I can deal with the consequences. I'm gone. I'll survive, whatever. But yeah, you know, like I said, I have my reasons, and obviously love is the number one reason. You know, like I love him a lot, and that just doesn't go away with a mistake they make. You know, like it's there's too much history there. There's too much like intimacy.
You don't love him, you need him. Love is healthy. Love is equal. Love is balanced. You're confusing love with need, Chantal. You need him. You need him for validation. You need him for companionship. You need a caretaker. You need a place to go. You need a lot of things. And you feel without him, you won't have those things. You've always needed men. You've never loved them. And since you've been on YouTube with your paycheck, you always try to get a man to be codependent on you so that he can't escape you. That's not love. That is being manipulative. That's what that is. Finding men who are financially hurting and exerting power over them to where they can't move. That's how you keep men around you. That's not love. So when you say you love Salah, wrong. You need him. Because without him, you'd be completely alone and you don't know how to deal.
So 2 is outweighing the good and the bad. There's more good. You know. So every time he's on the phone, you'll wonder what he's doing. Yeah, I probably will. He wasn't genuinely looking for a relationship. She was left out. Get him to birth the pure evil. Yeah. whatever. People can laugh at us. We don't care. Like he's not. Another thing is he's not perfect. You know, he's not. He's absolutely not. But he's not a bad person. You know, like because his real life, he doesn't do anything to hurt anybody. Like, well, other than this incident, but
You know she's going to use this over Salah forever. This whole thing happening to her and to him, is it embarrassing? Is it humiliating? Does it break the illusion of this happy marriage that she's been trying to sell to us for over a year? Yes. But on a personal level, this gives her leverage against Salah. This gives her a little bit of power, and you don't think she's going to use it? You don't think she's going to throw it in his face and use it as leverage against him? She will. She absolutely will. If he tries to go anywhere, if he tries to talk to anybody, she's going to throw it in his face. She's going to say, look at all that I've done for you. I helped out your gaming channel. I did the gaming streams. I encourage my audience to go talk to you and sub up to you. I gave up my home and my pets for you. I was humiliated and made the joke of YouTube because of you. Because you weren't discreet and you were stupid. You stepped out on me and you got caught. So now you have to do what I tell you to do. You're on a very, very short leash now, Salah. And believe me, she's going to hold on to that sucker and wrap it around her fist. If she comes back to Kuwait, it's going to be a nightmare for you both. But she will use the leverage and the power that you just gave her.
does the grape stuff bother you? Um, no, like not in the context. Okay, in the context of like I'm not afraid of him like ever raping me or anybody because he's just not like that. Like he's like I said, he's not a violent person. He's really just like a normal guy. And then these.
So I guess in Chantal's mind, there's a line. And the line is, because he's not violent to her, because he hasn't done anything physical to her, he's still on the line of being a good guy. It takes more than physical violence and abuse to not be a bad guy. But in Chantal's mind, this is how she's doing those mental gymnastics of convincing herself he's still a good guy. You could be a non-violent person and still be a bad guy. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they're stepping out on you and doing text messages of a darker nature with another woman, they are bad for you. They're not what you're looking for. They are not appropriate for you. They're not the one. If you're on the hunt for the one, obviously they're not it, because they're not focusing entirely upon you. But she's desperate to hang on to him and find a reason to do so. When you want to hang on to someone or something, you will find the angle that it takes to justify it in your mind and make it happen. And when you're ready to let go, you will find a way and a reason to do so, and you'll stick with it. And she's on the side of, I don't want to let him go. I don't want to let this thing go. It's all I've got. So I'm going to hang on to it with my fingernails if I have to.
Fantasies, some men have them. Keena Bear, welcome for important piece of recent piece. Is it something I enjoy? No. You know, so the nude, I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to see if it is or not. I don't want to look at it, but apparently she sent hers first or whatever. So I don't get that. Like, what is with thirsty fucking whore bitches on? Like, I'm sorry,
Ma'am, I hate you using that word. You're calling other women whores. But your man was over there catting around town, the married man, catting around town showing off all his business when he shouldn't have been. But of course, go after the woman, right? She's at fault. She's not in a relationship with you. He was. He's the one doing the most wrong. He shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. And if somebody approached him and said, hey, you want to talk sexy? He should have been saying no. But he didn't. He really didn't. And you keep ignoring that fact because you don't want to see it.
I don't have anything against Jessica Messica now, but at the time when she was trying to smooze up Nattered with her nudes, when she like knew what kind of, like, I don't know, it just, these mentally ill fucking women online who just try to involve themselves in your real life. Do you not realize that's not normal? Like, what's wrong with you? You have issues. You need therapy yourself. Like, I don't know what happened to you growing up, but Jesus. Anyway, and people are comparing that to, oh, well, the Turkish man had a family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he told me also that his wife knew, like, he was Muslim and he's allowed to have more than one wife, he told me. Not just that, but...
Yeah, but you weren't the wife. You were never married to him, nor were you going to be. You were never going to be married to him. He wasn't seeking you out to be the second wife. So it was wrong.
He was also looking for somebody, kind of like woman, to be with while he's here, because he doesn't know when he's going to see his family again. It's not, he never said, I'm happily married and my wife doesn't know I'm doing this. You know, it's not the same fucking situation. You can't use deductive reasoning.
Yes, we can. Even after you found out he was married, you were gloating about it and saying, ha ha, he's married and I'm being with him and his wife doesn't know. You were so happy about it. Like you thought you got one over on a married woman. You were being with a married man behind another woman's back and you thought you got one over on her. Well, ain't karma a bee? What you do to other people gets done to you.
That's what I hate about Hurl World. They're dumb. They're all dumb. And I'm glad you're not in my chat, and I'm glad you're not in my community. Leave us alone. Rebecca, I am blaming her. Goodbye. Are you kidding? So she's not to blame at all. I'm not, okay. Blaming her, Rebecca, you dumb fucking idiot, is...
And by the way, it's like, keep in mind, y'all can see right here, she started out with the chat being more than just VIBs. Then it switched over to members only chat. She's talking to VIBs this way, going after her VIBs. Classic Chantal. This is what she used to do. This is why she lost so many members and why her channel is not at 100K.
Is not condoning him cheating. Okay, like two can be true at the same time. Again, dumb. Like her purposely reaching out to him and like saying I gained their trust and like trying to lick FFG's fucking disgusting ass. I gained their trust so that I stole her man. There's a quote of her saying that. I stole her man. So you're not going to condemn her. She's a whore. She's a fucking dirty, disgusting.
Ma'am, you really shouldn't be using that word. Do you forget all the stories you told us about doing things for a hamburger, for snacks? You prostituted yourself for food. Like you've done some very naughty things for almost nothing. You have no business using that word.
Pathetic whore. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you hate me. Somebody tries to ruin your marriage on purpose. You're not going to call them a whore. Please have several seats. Bye. Fuck off. Fuck out of here. Anyway, so yeah, like, oh yeah, her real name is Amber. I don't care what happens to you. You deserve everything. You deserve everything. Go cry about your dogs. You fucking doxed a lot, okay? So you can eat shit. I don't care what happens to that person. Attention-seeking skank, exactly. So anyway, and I can still be mad at him for it. Trust me, I let him have it. Don't worry. And like
I'm sure you did, and I'm sure you're not done. Y'all, if she goes back to Kuwait, and she is planning to go, I don't know exactly when she's going, but let's set the stage. Chantal is in Canada right now, and she's been doing stuff behind the scenes, I'm sure. Not just the eating, but the party favors. I don't know exactly what party favors, but I got a good idea. But the point is, she's been doing party favors. And she's going to be there for what, another week, maybe a few days, whatever. But she's going to go back to Kuwait after getting her body used to said party favors. And she's going to be a mean, nasty mess. And on top of the fact that all this stuff happening, the tension in the household, ooh, mean, nasty, coming down, crashing Chantal with the paranoia, with the jealousy, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
I said, if something like this ever happens again, it never did before. If it ever does, then I will be gone and I will be marrying someone else.
And where are you going to go? Let's just say you're in Kuwait and it comes out that he's talking to another woman. Where are you going to go? You're going to fly back to Canada and do what? Flop on your mom's couch? You don't even have a home in Canada anymore. Where are you going to go? You put yourself in a position where there's nowhere to go. You're running from the tax man in Canada. Go where? Do what? With what money? You don't have much. You don't have much anymore to rebuild a life. You ain't going to go nowhere.
Who will not do that kind of shit. Trust me. I'm not dumb. Tiara Nicole, welcome to Very Recipes. The Hershey part, I don't know. I don't give a shit. Honestly, I'm just, if I decide to move on from it, I'm going to move on from it. Like, you know, they're both to blame. Exactly. So what he said, I know, but she's fat too. Like she's whatever. So who cares? Like, I don't know. That doesn't really bug me just because like how he makes fat jokes, like in general, like I just talked about earlier. But yeah, no, I mean, everything about it is shitty. What he said is shitty. I'm not happy with him. I'm not condoning his cheating. I'm not going to crucify him for having a fetish when in real life he doesn't rape people. So I mean, that's how I'm feeling. I'm not going to condemn him only for this one incident, okay? Like that's it.
There's been more than one. You're forgetting about the other times when stuff came out.
If it happens again, I'll deal with the consequences. Yeah. Yeah, I know, like, Kiki, like, obviously I yelled at him for that. I was really upset about that. But it doesn't make sense. He's like, it was just all talk, as if, like, he would never, like, pay for her flight. He would never spend money on this bitch. He would never, like, anything, you know? And I called him names, too. They're both equally pieces of shit for doing that, okay? 100%. Like, and even more so, like, I was mad at him more because I don't expect that from him, you know? But he's really sorry and he's gonna live to make it up to me, and that's fine if you want to do that. If not, then I can't, you know, then I can't stay.
Okay, this interesting super chat from Dawn saying, curious, how do you continue being a good, devout woman and still accept his vices? What he's into is not condoned and should be resisted, right? Right. She claims to be a newly reverted Muslim woman, correct? And so the things that he's into are haram, highly haram. Like these are jailable, finable offenses, up to $5,000 Kuwaiti dinar and jail time for lewd texts. So she's over there saying, well, I can go halfway with it and we just need more communication and I'll try stuff with him, although it will be haram, right?
Stay. How do you be a good, devout woman and still accept his vices? What do you mean? like, like partners that are married are allowed to do all kinds of like kinky shit if they want to. You know, I'm not a saint. I'm not a friggin' angel. Like, I believe in God, and I pray and all that stuff, but I'm not perfect. Neither is he, Oh, actually, you would be.
And that's her fallback. That's her default for resisting, for being defiant always. If she does something stupid or reckless, that is her default fallback answer. I'm not perfect. I'm not an angel. No one's asking Chantal to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection in the world with anybody. None of us are perfect. But that is her fallback excuse answer. I'm not perfect. I'm no angel. Well, we know that. But then again, nobody's asking you to be an angel or perfect. But you can be a decent human being, right? Can you do that? I don't think you can do that, but you could do that. But that's your way of excusing everything. I'm no angel and neither is he.
Be surprised how many people from repressive societies, sometimes people feel repressed.
Yeah, I don't like what she's doing here. She's saying that people in different countries that maybe the laws are really strict, that if they're repressed, she's trying to paint this picture, I feel, of there's a lot of repressed people that have these same fantasies as Salah. I don't think that way. I don't feel that way. Uh, I'm sure there are people in different countries that their fantasies do not go into the areas that Salah has gone. So I don't like that broad paint stroke you're doing there, Chantal. You're painting a very nasty picture of people.
Like super, and they develop like these weird fetishes. It happens. Like, I was actually watching something about that, like, before I even met Salah. So, well, it's repressive compared to the West, messy girl, sexually. It's, but as Muslims, we believe, like, I think I like that sexual conservatism now. Like, I had my time, I did my thing, kind of. So it's.
I want to bring something up. Actually, a couple of things. I remember a live stream that Chantal did. And she said one of her fantasies was that she wanted to have sex with a guy who had just gotten out of jail. She thought it was hot to sleep with a man who had been in jail for a very long time because he'd be so desperate and so horned up, he would have sex with anybody. Like, that's where her mind went. Like, to find a really, really desperate, horned up man to have sex with. She thought that was a turn on. Also, something she said in Cuba, which I will also never forget because when I heard it, I'm like, what? She said her fantasy for Natter was that she wanted him to go to jail and be there for him when he got out. Like, these are the kinds of fantasies that Chantal has, like being a predator and preying on desperate men. So to say that she's got dark fantasies and so does Salah, that's an understatement. They're both twisted.
It's like, I understand that too. I understand that. I just don't really. I don't know. I don't. I don't take it personal because it's obvious to me he loves me, like, just by so many other things that, I don't know. Pitiful. So is your super.
You can love somebody and not be in love with them. You can love someone and not desire them. I mean, I have friends that I love, but I don't desire my friends. I have no sexual desire for my friends, but I do love my friends. There's all different kinds of love, but love does not necessarily mean being in love. So even if Salah is fond of Chantal and he loves Chantal, it doesn't mean he's in love with her. It doesn't mean that she inspires red hot passion in him. Hence the reason why I think he's going to other people.
For chat. No kidding. Hey, $2 is $2. He tried to cheat in person. I don't think he would have. No. I don't think he would have. We used to get a nice lumberjack blow up at Home Depot. He used the discount code French for a girl to get a 20% discount. Hey, I was considering that. I'm like,
So Kiki says, forget about the fetish stuff for a second, girl. He tried to cheat in person, and that says so much. The fetish stuff is weird, but the cheating was going to happen. Yeah, the intention was there. It was definitely there. But she's, like, again, the eyes are going to be blinded what the heart does not want to see. And she's purposely, emotionally, mentally blinding herself. She doesn't want to acknowledge that part. The intention was all the way there. Just because it didn't happen doesn't mean the intention wasn't there, and the intention matters.
like the hell with men when this I said to hell with men. I'm getting a blow up. I'm getting, what was that blow up doll's name I wanted? Gerard? I don't remember. But no, I do love him, you guys. He's a good guy. Like, I wish that people would.
In hindsight, Chantal, you should have gotten the Sax doll, because it would have been a lot cheaper in price, and that would definitely be a man that would never leave you, and you would never have to worry about leaving you or cheating on you. Should have gotten the Sax doll.
Give him another chance too, and not let this shape who he is in general. Like, I have to give, like, if I give him another chance, I have to really give it another chance and really just put my trust that it won't happen again.
But it will.
But being into really freaky shit, especially in the heat of the moment when someone else is into it and it's consensual and everything, like, I don't think that's like the bad part for me. The infidelity, it's a different story. Can he hurt you for going public? Not outside of religion, but as a woman saying that about a man, no, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying big part of this forgiveness, like, consideration, is because he would never hurt me. And
Yeah, but you said the same thing about Natter. Didn't you come to us numerous times saying you guys don't know him like I do? He's a different person off camera. Like, we have a different dynamic off camera than on. Then how many times did you say that to us? Like, you don't know him like I do, and we talk for hours. You said the same things about Natter. You said we don't know him, but we do. We saw what we saw, we heard what we heard, and it was the same thing every time. We did not see the earmarks of a good man. And obviously, Salah is not a good man, but you're willing to forgive and forget just because you want to.
I think that's why he was so afraid to bring this level of fetishism to me, because as his wife, like, he saw, like, for example,
look at her twisting this. Oh, my husband loves me so much. He's so respectful. He's so afraid of losing my love that he didn't come to me with these things because he didn't want to lose me. He didn't want to lose my love. Oh my God. I feel like I'm at the Olympics with all these gymnastics. Somebody give her a gold medal.
Example, like, just telling her what she wanted to hear at the time, but really, if you see the most of it, he just wants to use her, like, degrade her and use her as a toilet. Like there's like that whole like dynamic, like, slave, like, you do whatever I want.
Okay, Chantal, so he want to do all this stuff with Kybella. Let me put this thought into your head. Did it ever occur to you that on a certain level that he's degrading and humiliating you, that he's using you and treating you like a toilet? Because he is. I mean, we've seen it on the videos. He makes sure to every once in a while say something not so nice, pinching your cheek, filming you from unflattering angles, all of that. Like, in his own subtle, silent way, he degrades you. And he's using you for your money. He just knows where the line is. And he doesn't step over the line because he wants to keep his good thing going. He wants to keep that money train moving so he doesn't go past a certain line. He knows what keeps you happy. As long as he keeps you overfed, then you're going to stay quiet. And he'll continue to get those paychecks. But he's degrading you too. Especially that comment that was made of, at least I can carry you. Did you forget about that?
I know, however extreme kind of like fetish, and a lot of people like joke about it, but it's like a real thing. And I don't think he felt like he could do that with me because like we're like, husband and wife family kind of thing, and he said he was just too embarrassed to do that with me, and he couldn't talk to me like that. So
Like translation, he doesn't want you. He doesn't desire you. If he was really into you, he would have come to you. Fetishes or not, you're his wife. Why didn't he come to you? Like the queen of degradation on YouTube, that you'll degrade yourself in front of thousands of people. Why wouldn't he come to you for those dark, dirty fetishes? You'd be the perfect person for them. You've done them before. You're okay with it. Why didn't he come to you? Because he doesn't desire you. He seeks out other people for those things, maybe that he finds more attractive, but not you. You were not the first person he called upon for those things, and he's not going to do them with you now.
But we're gonna find a good middle ground. Don't
Oh,
worry.
jeez.
You know, there's other things. Nobody forget about this. Your job is the internet. The only way anybody. I don't expect people to like forget. Of course not. It's the internet. I just feel bad because I see him every day. I know how down he feels, depressed, and just really upset. Um, he's offered to delete every single thing. You know,
If he loves you, why would he offer to do it? Wouldn't he just do it? Why not just do it? Offering to do it. You screw up that bad, there's no offering. You just do it immediately.
and but she said she was into that kind of grape stuff. So don't only get mad at him because she doesn't show those messages of her talking about that, of course, but she did write that. And then it's just, I don't know, it's just a fetish. In real life, if it was real life, sure, but he's, again, never abused me in any way.
He keeps going back to that. It don't matter whether he's been abusive or not. He's got those fantasies, and he's not going to settle for just halfway. Chantal, have you ever settled for just halfway doing your mukbangs? Were you ever happy with just half the food that you wanted, or half the nashies, or half the amount of Starbucks? Never. You wanted it all. And if somebody said you can only have half, you would throw a temper tantrum. So the things in life that you wanted, and if somebody tried to deny you, what would happen? You throw a fit. It works the other way with other people. They're not happy with just settling for a little bit when they want a lot more.
No. um like when I was with the abuser, it would come out in bed, that kind of nature. Like, with Salah, nothing, 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 nothing. He's so sweet and gentle, you know. So yeah. Apple piece. He shut up. My nose is. I need a Kleenex. Can I ask this person? Come on. I'm gonna use this bag, okay? Oh no, it's gonna slide around. Oh yay! I used one. Okay, hold on.
Ew.
Oh no, it's too small. It's overused. All right. I didn't even want to talk about this shit. You see what happens when I go live? But I think it's good to get it out also, so I don't have to do a video or edit a video. But that's just how I feel. I don't think I'll look at him weird. Like, I think he thinks I will, but I won't. Paris Amberlin's making fun of you. Life with Ron. Hi, Life with Ron. Thank you. It's good to talk. He's yeah, so um yeah. No, it is full it's full on cheating. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, that's like something I have to think of, like, can I live with, you know? And like I said, I did most of the reasoning being like the love and the marriage, like our families that we're throwing away over this one thing, you know. Welcome, very important bees. There's life for the renovation bees. But that's what I have to decide, you know. And
Okay, hold on a second. There's a couple of super chats here. Truth says, if he could hide that, what more do you think he can hide? You really need to think this through. It's been one day. Impulsivity may end you. Yeah, if he hid this, what else is there? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Uh, I'm going for a nap says he wasn't even going to tell you about the messages. He only confessed because she exposed him. Well, that's Chantal's the same way. How long did she hide everything about BBJ from us until FFG got BBJ and took her to the vet, and then all of her medical conditions were known and could not be denied? And that's when Chantal had one of her biggest meltdowns ever. You know, people like Chantal and Salah, they only confess when they're people got them dead to rights, and there's no corner to crawl into. There's no denying it. So yeah, he confessed when he got caught, and when Chantal, all the things she did to BBJ, all the neglect that she kept denying and denying and denying and saying, she's fine, she's fine, she's fine. And then when it was proved that she wasn't fine, that she was terribly sick, when the truth was in her face and she could not deny it, she lost her mind. So it seems Salah and Chantal have a lot in common that way.
and you know, nobody has to like him. I wish people again wouldn't judge him based on this one thing.
This feels like a repeat, does it not? Like I'm getting flashbacks right here. This feels like deja vu. When Natter would screw up and she would come online saying, I wish people would like him. You don't know him, and just forgive him and accept him. And nobody accepted Natter. Nobody liked Natter because of the things that she said he did to her. Nobody liked Natter, but she desperately wanted people to like him and accept him because she wanted him in her world. And she thought that if she kept him around long enough, that she would wear people down and eventually they would just accept him, and nobody did. So here she is doing the same thing again with Salah, just taking some dirty character in her play, putting him in front of people and saying, he's here and he's not going away because I don't want him to go away. So just accept it.
Because he's an amazing guy, other than this incident, and he's not perfect, you know. He only confessed because she exposed him. Think about it. Well, I did think about that. Yeah, of course I thought about that. Like, but there's no way to fully know if he would have ever, you know, like what would have happened in the long run.
But okay, so you're going that way. You're looking at it from the perspective of he didn't physically meet up with her. That line was not crossed. There was no skin on skin contact. And you're saying, well, there was no way to know if it would have happened or not. There's a possibility it wouldn't have, but there's also the possibility it would. And there's also the possibility that it may happen locally and you will never know. It might have already happened. We saw the Red Room picture. So we couldn't get somebody to fly to Kuwait to see him. And that's why it didn't happen. But what's to stop him from going out locally during a little snack run of yours and being with a woman? You'll never know. You'll never know about those. You knew about this one. So now that you know about this one, what are you going to do?
There's no way she could come there. Like, you know, it's just like stupid, dumb fantasy shit. It's just not logistically. Like, he would ask me to come home all the time. Like, okay, when are we going to book your flight? Like, there's no way that I think that it would ever have happened, like, so, oh well. I have to consider all of that stuff, all of the stuff, all of the bad stuff, all of the everything he said, and decide if I can move on, kind of thing. So give yourself time to think. Yeah, life can be shitty. Yes, I know. Yeah. He's evil for manipulating and cheating. Chad, welcome to very important recipes. Hello.
So basically, he's in ghost mode as a mod. He doesn't want to show his face right now. And you're just here trying to rebuild his image. That's what this stream was about. That's why you came back to talk to people. You are rebuilding his image, trying to smooth things over, being his PR person. Got it.
Life-a-thon. Yeah, I know. What he did was wrong. The cheating is wrong, 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 100%. Believe me, I've been going through it. Still am. But he feels really terrible. So, anyway. Yeah, Kina, I don't know. Vanilla. Welcome, very recent bees! Yay, a whole bunch of new beezers. Or same beezers from before bees do. I gotta pee. I used to just go in a bush, but that's not. God, the member names. I'm vanilla, I know. I just like romantic, passionate, like kissing and normal, kind of like humping and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just like starfish galore. I don't know. Like, that's what I don't know. That's just who I am. Some people are not, apparently. So, whatever. No, he said it was only like a day of talking. Like, maybe a day and a half at the most. That's a lie. 100.
Think about that for a second, though, Chantal. He was talking to her allegedly for like a day and a half. When you said that you guys talk 24/7. So, Mr. Married Man over there, he didn't just send one message and leave it alone. I didn't see any kind of guilt or shame or embarrassment or remorse in those messages. I didn't see him say, I shouldn't be talking like this. It's not right. I love my wife. Talking to her for an entire freaking day like that. And he didn't try to stop himself. He went so far as to send D pictures. Talking to her like that for a day when it shouldn't have happened for a second.
100%. That's why you don't see the screenshots of like, you just see like those ones. Relationships are hard and take a lot of work. 19 years. Yeah, for sure, Angelique. Vamp Diva. Thank you, Vamp Diva. That means a lot. Yeah, some people would never be able to. Hey, Weezy, would be able to forgive, I know.
So she's over there fooling herself into thinking, I'm an extraordinary woman. I am mature. I can have this happen in my marriage and forgive my husband, or other women would not forgive their men. You're right, we wouldn't because we're not stupid. You forgiving him like this, it shows immaturity, not maturity. Because a woman worth her worth would not forgive this. This is unforgivable. This just shows how desperate you are.
Toilet play isn't romantic. No, I know. That's why it probably was never brought into our life. But there's levels of it, like Salah is a very kind of alpha type male, like kind of very like likes to be dominant, but with me he's like teddy bear gentle.
Wait, so he's got these tendencies, But with you, he's a teddy bear. But considering his fantasies do not involve being a teddy bear. Do you see a problem? He's not talking about teddy bear, gentle, cuddly, romantic fantasies, Chantal. But you are. That's what you like. So you guys have different likes that way. And you're both stupid.
So it's like I don't know if like I bring out a side of him that he never like is not used to. I don't know, but he really is. Like it's surprising for me. I was like, what the fuck?
Look, she likes it. She likes the fact that he's got a kinky side. It turns her on. Look how proud she is of him. Like, oh my God, he's such a kinky guy. It's like she wanted to let us know that he was a kinky guy. Like the bragging, nothing to brag about. It was disgusting.
Is this like the Salah I know? Because I never saw that side of him, like ever.
He didn't want to show it to you. He wanted to show it to other people. And he's going to continue to show it to other people, not you. He's not interested in you. He's not turned on by you. If he was, he would have gone to you.
So but I used to like admire Tanetta, so I mean it's not shocking for me like as much for as it is for other people.
That's because I think you knew.
But like I don't know, not like teddy bear, but like like he's like really not like that at all. Like he would never talk to me that way, you know. Ever, not even raise his voice. Like he's so sweet. Like if I'm doing dishes or if I'm doing housework, he offers to help me. He'll like dance around with the cat to make me laugh. He plays.
Okay, Truth says in a message, if he hid this, what more can he hide? Seriously think. Without him influencing you, talk to Pete and review all their messages before you decide. The thing is, what is she going to talk to Pete about, though? What can Pete do? He is her ex. And if you want my honest opinion, because he is her ex, because she cheated on him multiple times, because she ruined his credit and she obliterated his life, she should leave him alone. He's not happy. He's kind of a moody mess over there. But if she had any kind of respect for their long friendship, she would let him just live his life. And then maybe he might get it through his head one day that she's not coming back and he can move on and get up in life. Get out from underneath her foot that's on his neck. But why talk to Pete? There's nothing that Pete can do. He can't help Chantal. A team of doctors and therapists and nurses would need to be helping Chantal if she cared. But Pete can do nothing. He's entirely too submissive to Chantal. She's not going to listen to what he has to say. He can't give her a place to live. His credit is shot. I mean, what could he do for her? Nothing. Nothing. People on the internet have tried to talk to this woman, give her advice, told her to seek counseling, inpatient, all that. She still hasn't listened. Chantal does not listen. That's one of her big problems. She does not listen. She does not do what she knows what she needs to do. Pete can do nothing. BB can do nothing. Nobody can do nothing.
Is the keyboard for me. That means a lot to me. I like a man to play Beethoven on the keyboard for me. I really like him. I really love him. So that's why I love those things. I'll miss those things. If he did this, what more can he hide? Seriously, think. Because he even said in the screenshots where he was being open, I've never talked to anybody before.
Right.
I believe him because, I just do. Just based on how we live and everything. Like, anyway. So I won't talk any more about it. I'm just like, that's what I'm going through right now. And yeah, only you can live your life, yeah. Salah doesn't have the cheater attitude. No, he's not.
Oh, he doesn't?
We need to communicate more about certain things, that's all, too, as well. So, anyway. Geese are making noise. It's not up to us anyway. Yeah, like, I'm getting serious hate from people. Like, in the end, it's my decision, Just remember this line of thinking the first time. I know it sounds similar, red wig. I know it sounds similar to like excuses I used to make for you know who, but that's totally different relationship dynamic. Like it's not even apples and orange. Like this.
Okay, so this person's super chat that she was reading out says, just remember this line of thinking the first time he asked you to participate in it. There's a difference between thinking about it and doing it. And you've already said that the things that he's into, you are not into. You're not interested. You like the vanilla stuff. You like the more cuddly, sensual stuff. And obviously, he wants more. So whether he is violent or abusive or abrasive about it, or he approaches you as a gentleman, are you going to do it when you don't want to do it? And how's that going to make you feel? Doing something you don't want to do, just to make sure that he doesn't step out. And even then, there's no guarantee.
This is like very different because, like I said, Salah's not abusive at all, like in any way. I would have come online and been freaking out, like, you know, like I did with you know what. So, yeah, it's totally different when someone is treating you like a queen, you know.
So the lesson here, I guess, is if you're someone and you're a guy wanting to be her sugar baby, as long as you treat her nice, you can get away with anything. You could step out and talk to other women in a very dirty way. And as long as you're nice to her and you're not mean to her, she'll let you get away with it. That's what basically the message she's saying right here.
So, anyways, people are gonna hate me for I know, yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna live my life worried about what people think about me, like to make decisions like that. Like, oh no. Because really, unless you're in my shoes, you really can't say what you would do because you don't know everything, you know? There's a lot of missing pertinent information to even make that kind of like deduction. But you know, it happens all the time to people who are not like public figures. It's
Please.
probably more common than people think, and there's no outrage because they're just normal people, you know.
So Kiana says, you did mention that things weren't working out with him over there, though. Take those into consideration, too, whatever they are. So even before this scandal broke, she said to everybody, things aren't working out with Salah. So it sounds like there was a lot of dissension. There was a lot of tension. So without the scandal, the two of them were not really getting along. There was a lot of bad feelings. And then you add this on top of that. Recipe for disaster. That's a powder keg waiting to blow. This is what you're going back to, Chantal? The happy home is not going to be happy. It wasn't happy when you left. It's going to be more unhappy if you go back. It's going to be a mess.
And especially me, especially a man I'm with, because you just went through this whole thing with Nosferatu. And, you know, I did come on here and make excuses for him. You know, I did 100%. And yeah, I did.
You still are.
I like felt insane most of the time when I was going through that. Like, I don't even know. It's crazy. What is this person doing? Oh, they have a nice SUV. Oh, the Kia logo changed. Melanie, welcome for information recipe. They had a breakdown in intimate communication. Yeah, because I don't think he would. He's like, imagine me talking to you like that. He's like, I could never. So it's
okay. So Truth says in a super chat, he might be just more manipulative than you think. Don't shrink so that his feelings can expand. And I got a song playing in my head right now. If y'all remember, like the song in the 80s, it was a beautiful song, Sade, Smooth Operator. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Smooth Operator. That's what he is. He's a smooth operator. Talking smooth, acting smooth, You know, don't cause too many waves. Don't cause too many ripples. Let the water just flow as it does. Smooth operator.
Like, you know, but anyways, I feel a bit better talking about it, actually, even if it's public. But he's not a bad guy. He's really not. And I know I said that. Like, that's the thing. You guys are making parallels, but um no, he's not. He treats me very, very well. Like, he's treated me very, very well. And again, if it ever happens again, well, that's it. I'll deal with the consequences. Like, no. I even when I found out for sure when Sam's Bar Lounge videos came out, I hate to go back in the past, but when I found out that he was like, when I heard him talking about like how he was always sleeping with Doo and like all of the cheating, like that was it. I left him there at Doo's
No, you didn't. You went to go back to see him
house
numerous times.
Because for me, like the abuse, I was putting up with it because I like of my feelings being.
Ma'am, stop. You didn't go through anything. You didn't experience anything like you have described to us. I know that for a fact. Because I've been through some stuff in my life. And I can look into your eyes and tell you ain't been through that same stuff. You're a big old liar. You're so desperate to trauma bond with people in your audience, to paint yourself a victim, that you will claim extreme things that are absolutely not true. You will claim things that have happened to you that never happened. You're a fake, phony victim. Always has been, always will be. The pain that you have felt in life, I guarantee you a lot of it was self-inflicted and didn't happen to happen, but it happened because you caused it to happen. You can't sit here and tell me that things like that happened with Natter when you kept going back and forth to see him and you never stayed away, when you were never afraid to be alone with him, even after the allegations and even after the filing charges. You were going back to his house with care packages. You were coming online and describing things with no problem, having no visceral reaction to describing those things. Instead of staying away from the person you say hurt you, you kept going back with no fear. You were provoking that person. These are all things that don't make sense to me and don't look right. And if it don't look right and it don't smell right, it isn't right. But you want to claim that happened to you. Doesn't mean we believe it, though.
Being strong, and also I thought that it was like a problem with him that I could help, like he could get help with, like with therapy or something. But as long as he wasn't cheating, he still loved me, and that's all that mattered, as long as he loved me. And it's like, so cheating is not something I put up with very, very well, even though I cheated before. I've never been cheated on really until Nattered. And once I found out about that, I was like, bye.
No, you weren't. You were sharing Natter with Dee just to get a glimpse of Natter. You pay for the groceries and see him, like Dee would take off, or like you would go over there. Didn't you brag about doing things on her purple bed? Yeah, you did. Miss, I found out about Dee and I was gone. No, you didn't. Why are you lying?
Fuck you. Of all I did for you? Like,
there we go. There's the attitude. All I did for you. Same attitude with Salah. Everything I've done for you, you owe me. You owe me your life. You owe me your soul. You owe me your heart. You owe me everything. And you'll never, ever be through paying that debt. You are now officially mine. For as long as I say it, that contract has been signed in blood. And there's no getting out of it. There's no breaking that contract. If I make an entire channel for you, if I do your content, if I bring you viewers, if I get you attention, if I make you somebody on YouTube, if I buy you things, if I buy your shoes, if I buy your clothes, if I buy your food, if I pay your bills, you are mine. You're now my possession. You're no longer a person. You are mine. You are not free to walk around and make your own choices. Not unless I say so. You're mine. That's how she feels. That's how she operates. That's how she lives. Nobody leaves Chantal. She is the YouTube Black Widow spider. And we all know what happens to male Black Widow spiders that try to mate with the females. We know what happens to them. They don't live very long. Like they eat you alive.
So I was going through that when I found out this about Salah as well. I was like, why? What the fuck, But it's not the same at all. It's not the same feeling. Like Salah feels like my family. That's why he's like my husband. He's done nothing but take care of me. I know people think he's using me. He does.
Can I just say something? I just think it's freaking weird that you're treating your supposed husband like your father. You're looking at your husband like a father figure. You're trying to use him as a surrogate father. That is just weird. You need therapy. Stop treating your husband like your father. He's not your father. Your dad is your dad. And no other man other than your dad can give a father's love. Seek out a husband's love, not a father's love in your husband. You look at him in a fatherly way, and it's just, that's so creepy, bro. If you have issues with your dad, go work it out with your dad. But don't look at your husband as like a father figure to look after you and be protective of you and guard you and take care of all responsibilities. For freak's sake, be a 40-year-old woman and take care of yourself. Grow up. You're not Peter Pan where you're going to be young forever. Grow up. Be a 40-year-old.
That was actually like true. He does pay for my flight. He pays for his own car. He's not taking advantage of me. He's like perfect for me in that way. So it's like, because I've been taken advantage of a lot. Well, no, just with Natrid, I think, because BB was like pretty 50-50. So anyway, just going back in history for no reason. That's the story. Don't let the love you have for him really blind. No, I know. That's the thing, Kiki. It's not easy because you think, okay, will it happen again? That's all you think of when you're thinking if you're going to forgive him, But
she's never going to let Salah leave the house. Y'all know that, right? From here on out, if she goes back to Kuwait, she's not going to let Salah leave that house. He'll be a hostage in that house. Or if he goes somewhere, she's got to go with him. She will never trust him alone for 5 minutes again. If he goes to the bathroom, she's going to follow him. If he goes to go to sleep, she's going to stand over the bed and watch him sleep. His personal life, his private life, done.
That's why you have to really think about it and weigh everything. And I'm weighing him as a person, weighing him how he is with other people in his life, how he is with us, how he treats me. That's what I'm main basing it on, So, yeah. He's not a moocher. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but there are a lot of people definitely entertained by our break about the breakup and all this drama. It's really sad. Like, I don't know what kind of people exist on this planet, but it's people like that make me like animals more than humans, 100%.
What are we supposed to be entertained by? What are you known for? You're known for drama. You're known for being a mess. That's how I've been for years. And then when you went to Kuwait, you didn't introduce it to anything new besides the drama, besides the rages. It was mukbang after mukbang after mukbang, bored out of our senses. The same content every freaking day. Chantal, if you had to sit in a room with a couch and a TV and somebody forced you to watch your own videos over and over and over and over, your eyes would bleed. You'd be like, my God, I'm being tortured here. Yet you subjected that to us for the longest. The same content over and over, the same environment over and over, the same fast food over and over. It was too much. No break, no new anything. It was never fresh. That's your favorite word, fresh, right? Tasty, yummy. Your content wasn't yummy, nor tasty, nor fresh. So, yeah, the drama is more interesting. It's something different. We enjoy that. People like new things. A year plus of the same stuff, and this is something different. Yeah, we're all happy about it. Ain't gonna lie.
Um, but I don't care. I don't care what people are saying about us, because if I did, all I had to do was never say anything, like never address it. But I wish I kind of didn't though. But I don't really care. I guess you know.
You had to say something. This is your channel. You depend on the YouTube money. You depend on people getting in your chats and giving you super chats and memberships and all that. You had to say something. You know you did. You said you were taking a long break from YouTube, but that didn't last. You had to say something so you can show your face and he can show his face and you could be on your channel doing your content and you can go back to doing gaming content. You had to smooth things over. So you did. That's what this is.
I don't know. The celebrating, yeah. Messy, yeah. I know. It's in my purse. I didn't put it on my ring. I have it. I'm with you in the animals over humans. Yeah. Anyway, I have a headache talking about this. I just wanted to like. I just want a reprieve. You know. Anyway, good news. I'm never eating hamburger helper ever again, because never in my life. It's just so bad for my stomach. Oh my gosh. I'm hyper. Situation is gross too. Just don't.
Yeah, good catch. Somebody in the audience just said, are you not wearing the ring on purpose? Yeah, the ring is missing. So where is the show of solidarity that way?
I hate to regret. Yeah. Well, no. If I stay, I'm gonna be happy. In life, learn to eat shit and like the taste of it. We don't have a choice. You I'm saying, like, you'll need to brush up on the art. What? Thanks for the money. No, I'll never eat shit. That's not something I would ever do. Okay. So, and he would never do that to me. So, I'm his queen. Number one. I'm worried about you being isolated. There was no one. Oh, I won't be there with no one to help me. You guys have this, like, I think people think of Kuwait as, like, Afghanistan, like, 10 years ago. There's, like, like, no, it's not like that at all. There's a lot of expat women who don't even wear hijab and who are on their own. Don't worry about me. But I like having a husband to take care of me. Hold on. I like it. I gotta pee. Ew, I look weird. I need makeup. I ordered so many makeup things. And, okay, if you order, please don't tell me Clinique is on the boycott list. I didn't even look. Yeah, but yeah, I've been clear. I'm willing to accept the consequences. If it happens again, you can say I told you so. You could have a I told you so party. And
Okay, you know what? We've only got 6 minutes left, and this stream is, goodness, it's 3.5 hours. So for those of you that like the longer reacts, you're going to get it today. Didn't know we are going to go that long and wasn't even looking at StreamYard. But I think we're done here. I think that's long enough for at least this react. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to like and subscribe and have a wonderful evening. Bye.